Teachers, and you're listening to Show X Live with Ken in a student accommodation all the way in Scotland, and Wayne in his white windowless van? Uh-oh, I better get out of here. Enjoy the show!
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone out there in the interwebs. Welcome to Show X. You're listening today on Sunday, the 14th of December, 2014, and it is 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. GMT. And I'd like to welcome, as always, our good friend Ken. How are you doing today, sir?
Not quite as always. More like the first time in like 3/4 of a month or something crazy like that. So, yeah, apologies for that, guys. I have truly, honestly missed the show. I thoroughly enjoy doing the show, and every week I was saddened and thought about it constantly. I was like, oh, I could be on air right now. Right now I'd be on air. If I was through there and available, I'd be on air right now. So, apologies both to you guys and to myself for having to miss it. So, I am good. I'm glad to be back. I miss all the lovely listeners. I missed you, Mr. Wayne. And I've missed just doing it because it's good fun. So I'm really happy to be back. I've had a rather busy last couple of weeks. I've flown to different countries. I've met interesting and on occasion important people. I've eaten strange things, drank too much. I've seen hookers. I've tried different weird foods. And I've gotten cheap yet expensive booze and much, much else besides. So
with that, I think we better just jump right into things and make sure we have enough time for a bit of
functional deviations.
So Ken, please update us on all of the amazing things you have been up to over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, so this year has flown by. Can you guys believe it's December? Like that, like just to get that into your mind. I know that like the front of your mind accepts the fact that it's December. You know that. You know it's December, but think about it. It's the 12th month. It's the final month of 2014. I've only just gotten used to writing 2014 on things. Why does that happen every year? It's in December. I'm like, oh, it's 2014. It's 2014. I know that. I know it's this year now. But for the next month, and then for the next 11 after that, I'm going to keep thinking, oh, it's 2014, and it's 2015. So that's rather annoying. It's moved over this way, but that's how it works, isn't it? So it's December. This week, this entire year's flown by. I've already been to Geneva and back. That was something that was at the end of the year. And I'm pretty sure it's not the end of the year yet. My mind keeps telling me
something that you were looking forward to throughout the year.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to go to Geneva at the end of the year.
And then when you have fun, time just flies by like that, and I did have fun. So Geneva, let me tell you guys about it. I managed to successfully avoid escargot.
No snails for you.
I thought they were joking when they said this, but they kept saying, oh no, seriously, we eat this like all the time. It's so tasty, you have to try it. And I was like, really appreciate if you ask, do you want to, versus you have to try it. So I'm very happy I avoided it. At the same time, a part of me like thinks, I was pretty much in France and Switzerland, and I didn't even try like the local cuisine. I'm kind of sad about that as well, you know. So maybe next time I'll try it. Same with frog's legs. I managed to avoid that too. So this sounds very French. Now the reason for this is where my family in-laws, they live literally right on the border, right between Switzerland and France. So when we go town to town, we've got I'd have two currencies on me. I had the euro and I had Swiss francs. So and it was annoying because I kept getting mixed up, and I go to town and they look offended because I would
you'd pull out the wrong money.
Currency.
It's like what you're gonna try to pay us with that fake paper there?
Exactly. So that was a little bit annoying. I kept accidentally insulting the locals. Speaking of insulting locals, actually, I also went to a coffee shop at one point and asked for a coffee to go. At which point, Miss Kane Features hit me and said, "What are you doing? Don't do that! Oh, he's sorry, sir. It doesn't mean that. He's foreign. And I was like, what did I do wrong? Turns out to go is like a really offensive thing. I had no idea.
What? What? Just saying to go, or I don't understand.
Apparently, like, if you're in a rush, it's seen as offensive. So if it's like, oh, I don't want to be here. I'm too good for this place or something, I guess. So, yeah, I accidentally offended some random coffee guy. That was fun. So a couple of things like that happened. Some cultural differences were shown. So French people, some of them are just normal people, you know? A lot of them are just normal people. Then you have the French. The Frenchy Frenches. The Frenchiest of all French. The super French. They like to do things such as No, to be fair, I'm not saying this with the entire race, remember. These are just the people who actually fit the stereotype. And we met a couple. Not every... But this is only a couple, genuinely, out of the tens of people that I met. Tens and tens. Only a couple of them were actually... definitely French. These people did things such as... we were in a cafe, and we were at a restaurant, and we were having our food. And it's very French for people to be very rude and go into smoke breaks constantly and stuff. So our waiter ignored us constantly. He'd walk past us. We'd say, like in French, we'd say, excuse me, monsieur, excuse me," and he'd just walk past. Like, "Oh, I'm on a smoking break. I don't care. I'm smoking." And he'd like, "So what do you want for food?" And we'd be like, "Can we have this?" And he went, "Is it on the menu?" And we're like, "Well, yeah, but we were asking for something slightly different. Is that okay?" And he just sort of writes it down, doesn't say anything. Then he's just like, then he walks away, and we're like, "And she'll have," and he's gone. And we're like, what's this guy doing? He just left us. And he doesn't come back. We have to go up and say, "Hey, more than one of us are eating here.
Remember us, those people that are, patrons here that, I don't know, would like to eat an entire meal?"
It's not as if we were just being stupid, right? Like, you think, "Oh, that's probably just misunderstood the culture." My family, my in-laws, have lived there for years. So, and they were like, "What's this guy doing? This guy's weird." So we had this really rude waiter, and he ended up since my in-laws are obviously American, they love to tip. You guys obviously love to tip and clap at things.
Well, tipping is a part of our culture. It's what we've bred into ourselves because in food services we often pay the waitstaff far too little, and so it's expected to make up for it through the process of tipping. So
we've been leaving tips the whole week, and this is one time we didn't. We were just like, "Nope, this restaurant, while the food was okay, did not deserve that."
You actually do not deserve a tip. You have messed it up.
There's French, which are just normal people. Then there's the super French, who really hit the stereotypes there. So that's what we managed to meet that week, sadly. We also went and saw the red light district.
Oh, really?
Geneva. Yep, so that was in Switzerland. In Geneva itself. Another thing, I was walking through the freaking streets of Geneva thinking, I'm going to take some cash out because there's lots of these lovely looking baked goods that I want to have and try. So I was walking around and I was like, "Oh, there's a bank." And I was like, "Oh, there's no cash machine here. Strange. I'll try another one." Walk down the street a little bit more. "Oh, there's another bank." Go over. No cash machine. This is getting weird. And then after like 4 or 5 times this happening, Miss Kitten Feature says to me, "You do realize this is Switzerland, right?" I'm like, "Uh-huh." She's like, "These banks are the kind that don't give out money because plastic talks here. And the amount of money that they have in there don't come out of ATMs." And I was like, "Oh, right. One of the richest cities in the entire world for a reason. That's where all the people who, are business owners store their money so they avoid tax and stuff, right? They don't care about me. They want me to. They're not going to waste money on an ATM.
Yeah, I was going to say, enough money travels around that country that you're just walk in 20 quid here or there is like, meh.
Yeah, funny one, poor man. So unless you have, the ability to go in and say, "Do you know who I am?" You will not get any money out. So that was interesting. Anyway, the red light district. So we're walking through this the old town of Geneva, the old part, and it was lovely, really cool old buildings, beautiful buildings, crazy architecture. We're looking through these old classical shops that had art pieces and sculptures and even mechanical stuff from that are centuries old, and it was really cool to see all this stuff. And then we turn a corner, and suddenly, now people would call me racist for this. This is just I'm just saying facts here, right? I'm just saying some facts about what I observed.
You observed something, yes.
Every single male in this corner was black. Just saying. Observation.
Okay.
And every single woman was scantily clad. Very much so. And half of which were in windows, dancing.
Yes. Well, you did say the red light district.
So it's just interesting is all I'm saying, because, so far in Europe, I've never experienced anywhere else where you turn a corner and then that suddenly happens, and the whole, percentages of, race and gender change completely. That's strange to me. So, walked down there, had a couple guys approach us saying, "Hey, do you want to buy anything?" We're like, Nope, no, thank you. Thank you, just looking around. And,
just an observation. Just
holding
an observation.
Hands in their pockets nice and tight. So we're wondering if there's either guns or drugs or just pamphlets to go see naked women in there, so we're not sure. Walked past this sex shop, which was owned by this really old woman who was wearing this like one-piece underwear, this long piece of underwear. And I was like, hey. Great. So that was fun. There were some beautiful women there, but the thing is, when you walk around, you see that stuff. Unless you're in that mindset and used to that, at least for me anyway, I just felt really sorry for the girls. And as I said that to Kitten, she said, you know what, I have the exact same thing. I just feel so bad for them. I want to hug them. And I was like, yeah, I know, right? Like, these girls make more than, like, me or you, Mr. Wayne. These girls go around and
They're doing well.
You know, one of the most... Oh, yeah. Like, the profession may not seem, like, fun to a lot of people, but they're making mint. They are making true money. I mean, they'll be on, like, thousands and thousands a day because of where they're based, right? In Geneva. So that's impressive. And we were looking down on them. We should be looking up to them, in truth. But,
well, I mean, it goes back to our discussion that we always had about, you know, the oldest of professions, and how it's kind of like we believe it should be completely legal, regulated, stuff like that, because honestly, if somebody wants to do something with their own body to make money, why not? As long as they're in control of it. And that's kind of the key, right? It's whether a gal is actually in control of what she's doing, or she's kind of being led to, like you were kind of hinting at there, by pimps and such trying, you know, profiteering from their work. I would never feel bad if it's something where a woman chose this life herself and is in control of her life, because it's whenever someone has somehow felt like that's the only thing they could do and can't find a way out, have no choice, that's when it's sad. But otherwise, hey, make bank, do what you love.
Yeah, and that's why it's silly that I'd feel sorry for them, because there's nothing wrong with them, right? I mean, that is completely okay for them to do that, and if they, hey, who am I saying that they don't enjoy it? You know? Maybe they all chose to do it and they actually enjoy it and there's no problem there. Or maybe it's the opposite and I should feel sorry for them. I don't know. I think it's dependent on, I think it's per situation. It's difficult to say one way or the other definitively. So regardless. That was interesting to see red light districts. It's always fun to see. Not the true red light district of Holland as of yet, but we will see one day. I tried interesting food. I tried fondue. Now, the next one is going to be really dull. I tried sparkling water. Now, you'd think that's quite common, but I've just always avoided it because it looks horrible. And I tried that out for the first time, so that was fun. And I had my first ever real Thanksgiving.
What?
Well, we don't celebrate here. Why would we? It's the opposite, right? We don't do that because...
You should be you should be thankful that we found our country over here, that you guys were able to get rid of all of us, right?
That's true. That did save us a
It's
lot of
only
hassle.
July 4th. It's only July 4th you guys shouldn't celebrate of our holidays, because that's the one where we whooped your all's butt. But in this, you know, at least on, you know, Thanksgiving, you could be like, yeah, that's when you colonists got out of here, and so good for you.
Man, the colonies are rowdy tonight, aren't they? So yeah, we tried that for the first time. Mother-in-law is absolutely fantastic at cooking. Absolutely amazing. So we're blown away by that. Really enjoyed the food. Had amazing turkey. I had an amazing cranberry sauce. And the best thing was the pecan pie. I've never had pecan pie from scratch before, and oh my god.
Oh, you mean pecan pie? Yes, that is good stuff.
Yes, pecan pie. Yeah. So that was
really have
good.
two E's. It's P-E-A, pecan, not.
Do you want to find all the examples of in English where one E is pronounced?
Where you guys are
E?
wrong every time, but continue.
You guys, it's the English language. We made it.
Yeah, you just stick to that old way of doing things.
Right, so I thoroughly enjoyed Thanksgiving. That was good fun. I got lots of cool booze. So we have real absinthe and through here, which is nice.
Scary.
Yeah, we got some from the airport. Me and Ken had a night out for her birthday last week for that. We started with some absinthe, and that was...
Isn't that
definitely felt that one the next day.
I was going to say, starting with absinthe seems like how you end a night, or how you start to make a bad night.
Yeah, it was genuinely starting the night there as well. It wasn't as if it was just... It was like, do you want to have some absinthe for a start? So what we did, we looked online, there's several different ways of taking absinthe properly. You can take it straight, but that's not really recommended. Also, the bull crap people say about it being hallucinogenic, I looked it up, it's totally not. There's absolutely no proof of that, it's just what people say. It's not a hallucinogen.
Huh.
People are like, oh, I saw fairies. No, you didn't. You're just really drunk. You didn't see anything. So the way we did it is we set it on fire. You clamp down your hand over it firmly to make sure that it doesn't burn you. And as soon as it's down, it loses all oxygen and it obviously dies.
Yeah, it's good to put out the fire, yes.
Yeah. Then you breathe in the fumes, and then you shot it. That's what we did.
Oh, that
Except
sounds
we wanted to
painful.
taste it though, so we didn't actually shot it. We sort of drank it, but still.
Okay.
Also goes well with champagne. We found out. Apparently
Nice.
that's what. I'll find who it is, but some famous guy used to do it. Champagne and absinthe. Let's call it Death in the Afternoon cocktail.
Oh, yeah, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah. Hemingway. He's the one who sort of made it. So that's cool. I met a couple pretty important guys. So mother-in-law, like I said, works for CERN, and she did work for the UN back in the day. And I've now met the Director General of CERN.
Ah.
So I was kind of blown away
I'm
by
assuming with resume in hand.
No, sadly. But it's not as if we were doing anything like. I didn't go to meet him. We were sitting eating lunch at the CERN cafeteria after having a tour, and he works closely with my mother-in-law. So he just came over and went, "Hey, person, how are you doing? Who are these people?" And we all stood up and shook his hand, and then we got introduced. And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I just met like one of the probably I'd say the leader of like scientific research in the world right now. Like at least one of anyway. The head of CERN, that is insane. So, kind of blown away by that. That was pretty impressive. I was really impressed by my mother-in-law. I definitely gave her credit for that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, it was Kitten's birthday last week. So I got her another chinchilla.
Ah!
So that's two. You've all seen them before anyway, but
Well, so what is, and I don't know if I remember, what is the name of Mittens Part 2?
Mittens Part 2, nice.
Well, I'm figuring
This
you're
is
still just breeding them for like stock so you can have warm and fluffies. I want to get there and like have like a scarf or something and things like that. So,
It takes 145 chinchillas for a jacket, apparently. So
well, you need to get to work then. You need to start breeding and get that going.
you can tell that to Kitten and see how she likes that idea. I'm not going to risk my neck with that one. So yeah, she's thoroughly enjoying Chili the chinchilla. We didn't name it. That's what his name was before. However, we never really neither of them really have names. I call the new one Bet. Yeah, we just have different nicknames over on week by week basis. So I currently call the newest Chin Best Chin because he's not a dick. The old Chin's a dick and he rapes the other Chin. This one is just quiet and nice and shy. So he's the Best Chin. So I call him Best Chin.
Okay.
Whereas, Kitten just calls him Chili. Anyway, so she got that. She got Sims Medieval, which is an expansion for The Sims.
I was gonna say, I don't think that's a standalone thing.
No, actually, it's his own thing, and I didn't know there was anything more like that. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Looks interesting. I literally opened it up earlier to try it out, and I got 2 minutes in, and I was like, "Oh, I'm making a sim, and this bores me." And I left it. Oh, my attention span is not by any means
Not quite what it
little.
used to be, or
No, not by any means do I have a small attention span. I have quite a large attention span with things that interest me. But if I start playing a game and within 2 minutes it doesn't interest me, I'm out. I'm just out. I'm just I don't see the point.
I understand. I can understand that.
So I had that with The Sims today, and same with World of Warcraft. Now I got the 10-day trial, and I jumped into it when I was talking to you the other day, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, it's funny when you jump back
2
into a 10-day trial, and it's like, do you actually make it through all 10 days, or is it 5 minutes, an hour, maybe 2 in, and you're kind of like, oh yeah.
I didn't even get that far, dude. I've still got it open, mind you, but I'm not actually playing it whatsoever. So what else? She got The Sims and she's been really enjoying it anyway. She lost her save the other day though, so she's very sad about that. I've got my work night out tomorrow night and the next day off. So that'll be nice. That'll be sweet. I'm looking forward to that. I made a point of I was in charge of organizing it, so there's a team of 15 or so, and I was like, well, if I'm in charge of organizing it, there's this nice pub next door to my house. It's got really cheap booze and food, and it's really tasty and stuff. They're like, yeah, whatever. So we're going there. So I get to crawl home after work.
That just means you get to do a proper set of entertainment. So that sounds wonderful.
Exactly. So it's only 2 minutes away, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm really happy with that. So I expect to see drunken Snapchats in the nearby future.
Oh, yes. Drunken Snapchats, Ken. I think that's actually one of your better segues of things that you did today, because how can you do drunken Snapchats?
I will get into that in the Geek Cred section, sir. I'm not going to jump onto that just yet, because I want to talk about it a little bit in depth.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, as I said, we won't need long for this section, because I am just flying through these. But it's not long till Christmas! How many days is it now? What is it? It's the 14th today? So, what, 11 days? That's pretty freaking cool. 11 days till Christmas. And that means 12 days till Mr. Wayne arrives in Scotland. How crazy is that? 12 days!
So it's funny, right? Because you keep counting down like it's this big deal I'm coming out there, but it's almost like the same thing as when I went to your wedding. And how it was kind of like this weird, I'm going to show up, and everybody knew about it, and everyone, is all anticipating, and I end up showing up at the in-laws hotel room, and they're like, oh, are you here to fix the sink or whatever it was, before they sent me over the hotel to your room. And, I was like, you're Ken's friend. Oh, we all heard. We couldn't wait to meet you. And then headed over to see you, and this, opened the door like, wait, what? So it's funny how the anticipation, you keep like growing up on that, where it's like, what?
It didn't even click in my mind it was you when I first saw you. I looked at you and I was like, that guy looks exactly like Wayne. And then it still didn't click. I was just like, that's weird. That's a strange coincidence. Even though I knew you were coming that day, I knew that you were going to be there, and I knew what you looked like, but still, no. So that's going to happen again. I'll be waiting at the airport, looking around like, where is that guy that I talk to online all the time and not recognize you when you come through the door? But that'll be fun. Not long to go. You'll be arriving in the grand city of Glasgow,
which I am very much looking forward to.
I'll try not to have you stabbed in the first day, or the heroin, as is the norm in Glasgow.
And any of the normal, town, spectacle and such.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, every time you go to Glasgow, you go through rehab afterwards, after all, so that's just how it works. You can't help it, it's tradition, man. It's tradition.
So maybe I should have put, Edinburgh on my travel itinerary so they wouldn't, test me as soon as I got back in the States here when I get back home. My work to make sure I hadn't done anything they deem inappropriate.
Oh, don't worry. There's an embassy and stuff set up for it. They know it's so normal that they've just got all set up. Don't worry. It's all fine. Yes, so we've got lots of things planned. We were thinking all the different festivals we can go to, all the different fun things we can do. So I'm very excited to have you here. I cannot wait. Kitten keeps making snide comments about how I'm looking more forward to you coming here than I am our own reception or Christmas. She's like, stop talking about Wayne coming here. Talk about reception.
Dude, you're gonna mess it up for me, right? You're gonna get her all anti-me before I get there, and she's gonna stick me in a corner somewhere and make sure I'm left off.
I know. I had to say to her, look, we'll definitely spend our 1 year anniversary Wayneless, okay? It's just gonna be you, don't you worry. But every other day's Wayne.
I said, I am perfectly fine wandering around cities and doing some exploration on my own so people can do their own thing. My goal is to come and be part of the festivities and then basically explore what's available countryside and all. I do not need to be handheld through the experience. I'm a big boy. I'm grown. It's okay for me to wander about.
It's not about you being a big boy. It's about us having fun together. And so we will do just that, except for one day.
Okay.
But I'm going to abandon you somewhere or wherever. So
yes, I'll be hanging out with Diggy or something like that for a day. We'll see.
Exactly. So that's all good. It's all planned. I cannot wait. It's going to be awesome. Send in emails to our show. Send them into showx@vitoproductions.com. Because we don't have any this week, and it's half an hour, and we're gonna have in half an hour or so we're gonna have to start reading out emails.
Well,
and
it's funny, right? Because we have we have enough of our regular participants on here that I don't know why it is we don't have more and more people writing in and to let us know what you've been doing these last weeks, or to answer some of the questions I've asked from the previous weeks. Some of your opinions and things about the stuff we talk about. So please email the show. Let us know. We would love to see what all of you think.
Exactly.
But with that, I think I will talk about what I've been doing over the last week. Since everyone had heard pretty much all of my life over the last 2, this shouldn't take too long. Although I did miss something from the previous week. So to start off, first things I have to say, because it's family, I have to say happy birthday to both my Faja and my older brother, my father and older brother, who both have birthdays last week. And so very happy birthday to them.
Happy birthday.
Also, so the thing that I missed from the last week that I was chatting with everybody, and I don't know how I missed it, I had just done it. Maybe it was just it hadn't processed through my brain in the time. But I went out with my consummate concert-going pal, Lieutenant Fork. We went to an event up on our way to Boulder in the First Bank Concert Center, a place I hadn't been before. It's essentially a little sports venue where they can host things like basketball, hockey, indoor soccer, things like that. It's a smaller venue, but one I just never gone to, driven by many times, but we went there for an event for the holidays called Channel 93.3's local radio station's Not So Silent Night. And at this, there were a few bands that I thought I would at least mention, since some people out there might recognize them. One of them, a hometown band called Modern Suspects, who I hadn't heard of, didn't know. Now, granted, the radio station leading up to the event had played a lot of these songs. I've been listening to radio stations, so I heard some of them, but I really didn't know most of the bands. Another one was Half Moon Run. Vance Joy, who I believe is a guy that's from Australia. And it's interesting because he just broke out in the last year or so. And I saw some comment where he had gotten interviewed on the station. It was kind of cute, where basically said that, and all the bands were fun. All of them were good. But Vance said, every year for the holidays, his family goes from Australia down to one of the beaches, hangs out this and that. He said, the beauty this year is it's the first year he gets to pay for it. And take his whole family down now that he's successful. I thought that was kind of cute.
Oh, that's really nice.
Fits in the Tantrums, another band that maybe some people know. I wasn't as aware of. I maybe knew one or two of their songs. And the one that was really the only reason I cared, although I have to say, my favorite band of the night was Fits in the Tantrums. I thought they just were amazing. The way they played, I was into the whole song. It was very jazzy but modern kind of thing. Really good instrumentals, great singing. That was a fun group. But the headliners for the night was Cage the Elephant. And the reason that people should know who Cage the Elephant is they play a song that many of us very much love, but you may never have known the attribution of who did it. And that song is the intro song for Borderlands.
Ooh.
Yes. So that
cool.
the original Borderlands intro is played by Cage the Elephant. So the one where it's every time it came out when I first heard it, I played the heck out of that song. Loved it so much, didn't realize it's just a regular group, right? But it fits the game so well. And so when they played all the other songs, and granted the lead singer's a spaz, and I think he's trying to kill himself at a young age, just jumping around the stage everywhere with too much energy and things, where I was like, he is gonna die.
Bands like that are weird, aren't they?
Yeah, crowd surfing and stuff, jumping off the stage in the crowd that really wasn't ready for it. Mike and Han still singing, but a lot of good show, good fun. But when he played the Borderlands song, I just went nuts. And it's funny because I don't even know the name of it other than it comes from one of my favorite games. So, but I did want to bring up, thank you, Lieutenant Fork, for having seen that was coming out and wanting to go to that event and us going to go see that movie. That concert. A lot of fun. Let's see, what else had I done? So I'm trying to get back into, I continue to do the dancing thing, which to keep myself healthy and going and things like that. That is my cardio of the week, and especially since I've been doing the power moves thing, which that's more my crisis one where I may try to kill myself. I'm turning old and, midlife crisis kind of thing. Amongst all the other activities, that one, because I am having to do handstands and cartwheels and things like this to really work up strength that I'm not used to.
Dude, I've never done a cartwheel in my entire life because I cannot.
Cartwheels are easy. I need to get to the point where I can do a handspring. That's what's been killing me. But can't do a handspring, can't do a full flip or anything like that yet.
I can't even roll over anymore. I've not been able to do it for a decade. I can't do any of that
So it sounds like I'll have a few things to teach you on my first day there.
Apparently.
But yeah, so in doing that though, it's been a heck of a workout because the instructor, my buddy Chase that does the class, he's really big about being healthy. He's not quite a vegan or anything, but he is very healthy in how he eats. I don't think he drinks. He's very kind of spiritualistic in how he is and stuff, where he really wants everything about a person to be healthy and in tune with the world. A little hippie-like, but in a very cool way. And so he starts classes with things like doing, all this core workout stuff, sit-ups, but raising leg lifts, leg scissors, all these things to strengthen your abs and stuff like that. So I come out of his classes not only just kind of worked out from trying to dance into these power moves, but just hurting in general. Muscles I didn't even know exist are in pain. Mm-hmm. Well, I had the opportunity yesterday because I haven't, every weekend for the past month or so has been busy doing something out at other dance reviews or different places running around town. This weekend I had nothing. I've actually been at home Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this whole weekend. It's weird. Maybe I'll actually be rested for a change. But I ended up working out with my cousin and my friends that come over to work out with him regularly. Every Saturday, right now it's only once a week. We used to do it 2-3 times a week. Every Saturday that we do a workout here in my gym. And so they all came over and I was here and I was like, yeah, yeah, I'll work out with you guys. I'm not doing anything. Why not? And so we worked shoulders, biceps, kind of a full body workout thing for the upper body, and doing heavy weights because it's winter. It's all about bulking and getting big now.
Of
so that we
course.
can cut again for the summer when you go without a shirt. And oh my goodness, it has been a while. Oh, my shoulders and chest are so sore. And I'm just now not necessarily looking forward to, but I'm imagining what it's going to be like on Tuesday and Wednesday when I go dancing. Because I'm already sore today, and so I'm hoping I just have enough time to recover by Monday night before I go into dance and then suffer again. And part of it, it was weird too, because this last week in dancing, I was doing fine, but after power moves, I was a little sore on the sides and stuff where it's been happening with different muscles. But then after doing my West Coast swing, I was even more sore because I have to maintain like kind of a rigid body and pulling, keeping the arms in a certain position. And I was surprised with how much it just overall is just like, I have worn myself out this week. I need to stop. But it was a lot of fun. Other things, I need to send out a big thank you to a friend of the VTW group as a whole, but mostly the local Game Fest group. One of our friends, Unit Zero, during the last Game Fest, he had brought over some speakers that he had just kind of like collecting dust in a storage unit that he had. Because he thought, well, these are still my speakers. He was very like, understand, these are still my speakers. These things are expensive, like concert venue, big speakers that need to be amplified. But you're going to have more likely use of them than I will since you're down here and have this whole basement space. So I'll bring them over so you can basically store them for me while using them. And, I'll go hang them out. And so I did. I finally took them where I had these old speakers that one of my roommates wasn't using. He kind of eventually just gave to me. He was like, these are huge and I'll never use these. So he had given those to me. So I replaced those out with these other speakers, and I was trying desperately to take my old receiver from upstairs, my old like home theater thing, and stick it down in there to run it off that. But surprisingly, that old 10, 12-year-old Sony receiver I had has no power. The thing is so weak. I plugged it in, cranked it, and I was like, really? That's all you're doing? And yanked it back off and put the speakers back on this crappy Panasonic shelf system that I have. That I was given by a friend because they were like, I don't have use to this. You want? I was like, yeah, sure.
How many stereo sets do you get for free, by the way? Just this conversation seems to be following. So I got this set, then another set, and then this was another set that I had for free. And why is that a thing?
What happens is I have a nasty habit of being the like reclamation or the last stand for all old electronics that people have. People know in general that I'm a techie and I love all technology and things like that. So if they go through their household and they start like taking old tech, a lot of people I know come to me first. And they either say, hey, what's this worth? Or what should I do with this? Or they say, hey, do you want this? I'm getting rid of it. I know you collect old technology. Would you like mine? And so because of this, I have gotten so many old computers and stuff like this over the years that I've thankfully been able to repurpose a lot of and either help to build someone else's computer because I have like 5 or 6 random power supplies sitting in my shelves or something like that. Most of which are like 300 watt and crap, but every once in a while I have like, there's a 650 watt one that's okay and will actually run this modern video card. I'll use that one. And so in doing so, I try to repurpose as much as I can, although I do need to go through the shelves and just toss some old stuff. But in doing so, I've got a lot of these older like I've got some older, basically, in this case, audio equipment. I had somebody give me an old tape player when I held a 80s party, and along with that, friends of mine gave me an entire collection of their old cassettes, like several hundred cassettes from all in the 80s and early 90s and such, even some 70s and stuff that were all audio cassettes that I've got boxes of downstairs. So whenever I throw an 80s party again, I've got all the music and a player to play it on. Things like that. So people just, they've enjoyed the time, and part of it comes from me hosting so many events for everyone that they're just like, hey, Wayne does all these things here. I will leverage this for you since you could probably use it and I'm not going to. And so a lot of stuff that would have been thrown in the garbage, they just give to me. In this case, there's an old Panasonic shelf system that, granted, the CD player on it does not work. In fact, it's terrible. I think it eats CDs. Tried several times. I think the laser inside is miscalibrated or something because it kind of skips constantly. Don't know what to do about that. I'd actually like to get a better one. In case that, but it does have cassette players that work on it and the radio, and it has a right and left channel auxiliary in. So that's really what I've been using it for. I had it sitting next to where I plug in my computer when I do Game Fest, and so if I want everyone to hear a video I'm showing or something like that, I plug that into my computer and I run it through the big speakers. Well, I also, because my basement is fairly open and I have really crappy stick-on tile on it, just laminate, I really would rather do it with a nice wood floor. But I can use it for both my photography studio and to dance. And so what I was trying to do is set it up with the speakers to give myself a venue to dance so that as I'm working on these power moves on my off days, I might actually do something I never do, which is practice. It's like I never do it with my martial arts like I should, and I never do it with my dance like I should. Dance every once in a while.
If you're already a black belt, that kind of shows that you've got.
No, that means I'm beginning. Black belt means I've just learned enough to get into the really good stuff. But with it, I need to spend more time actually practicing the move so it becomes ingrained in the body so that you don't think about it. So that's just how you move, that's how you do things. And so that's what I want to do with the dance as well, because there's some core basic things that we work on every week, but I want to get to the point now where some of the routines we're learning, I know. So when my instructor says, hey, we're going to work on this one, do you remember this? I can say, yes, I do, and here's the entire routine. And start doing that. And so I'm trying to set up that area for me to be able to work out and get ready for.
So long as you don't get drunk at the reception, then go, okay, time to dance. I got all wired in, time to dance. Then you just kick, like, my auntie's ass randomly. Cause you're like, oh, the wrong one. I accessed the wrong one. That's fighting, not dancing.
Well,
damn it.
Here's
sorry.
an interesting concept, though, and it's something that's actually going to be kind of a New Year's resolution early thing for me. Because we were having a meeting or discussion just last night. Or Friday night, yes, at one of our local establishments downtown. And I was going out with my martial arts group, my little club that I'm part of, where it's kind of at the end of the year, we don't usually train the month of December because of holidays, people are on vacation, all these things, so we just kind of give it up for the last month. But we sat down and talked about how the year went, the things we've been doing, and looking forward to the next year. And in talking about it, kind of our expectation stuff, one of the things I observed is going through all of my different dancing and the martial arts, as well as some other things in my life, how a lot of martial artists take what they learn from the art and make it a part of their everyday life. Like everything they do, you can kind of see an essence of what they've learned from the martial arts in what they do and how they experience things, how they move, thoughts, stuff like that, philosophy about what they do. Well, some of the things I've observed is some of the same lessons I've been learning for the last decade in the martial arts absolutely apply to what I'm learning in dance, especially, oddly enough, the West Coast swing. There's little things about like how you move your energy from and like move your hips back first when you're stepping backwards. You don't step back and like reach with your foot. You move your hips back and draw your whole body and you basically fall backwards. It is exactly what I've been learning forever in martial arts about pulling your energy because it's faster and more controlled to fall into a move instead of it is to step back into it. Things like that. That's just like a minor thing, and if people who don't understand, I can show it makes sense. But so what are my goals now?
It's useful to be able to have transferable skills that way, especially physical ones. I mean, I don't think many people do martial arts and dancing. You know, I think people usually have kind of opposing things that way, but yours seems kind of semi-related, so it's useful.
They're very complementary. That's what's kind of nuts about it. They're not at all opposite of each other. They're so much the same that it's kind of like it should make both of them easier for me to do and better. And so when you say like, oh, actually the martial arts and stuff, really the dancing I do is the martial arts. The martial arts I do is the dancing. Because when you really watch it done well, it looks like a dance. And it's just how you use the energy. The only difference is, like you said, not mixing up the two. And so instead, when I take a girl and want to swing her around doing the West Coast swing or something, instead of, doing the West Coast swing, not accidentally putting her on the ground or something. Finishing her. But exactly. But at the same time, with that in mind, I actually want to find a way over the next year to start blending the two so that when I do a dance routine, I can actually bring some of the martial arts into it. And when I'm doing the martial arts, I can do it more fluidly and timed like the dancing. There's some ideas I have across the board, but it's interesting how well they all blend. Anyhow, separate thing. But again, that goes back to my thanks for Unit Zero because I'm able to start setting up that basement now to be a much better dance venue as a whole. And to a point, I turned up the speakers a little louder when I first was installing them. And I was afraid I was going to shake the house a bit upstairs. I was like, this sounds great. This is loud.
Nice.
I still want a louder system than this little crappy Panasonic thing I have. But I'm also going to try to run those other two speakers I had that I just replaced in series and make it more like this whole surround thing down there. So it'll be like a club. It'll be all thump, doom, doom, doom. So, yeah. Silly
you can have your Game Fest, then you can have Dub Fest.
Essentially. Hey, I've talked forever that because I have black lights set up down there as well, that I really want to do a paint party. I want to have a like Eurobeat dubstep. You come in like you're as little as you can, and you wear body paint that's all UV reactive. I think that'd be a hell of a blast.
You just want to invite girls around to do that. I know your plan here, Mr. Wayne.
I would
You'd
not
happily sacrifice
mind.
your messy basement in order to have naked women dressed just.
I
in
did not
pink in
say
your home.
naked. I said painted. A lot of colorful paint, where you never know how you might end up with handprints and such. But anyhow,
Yeah, colorful boobies are still boobies.
I just think it would be a lot of fun. I've been wanting to do that forever. I don't know if I know the right people to be able to pull it off, but I think it'd be a good time. Oh, finally, for my dysfunctional deviations this week, I am still working on acclimating myself to the Scottish way of life. And so I am trying to drink whiskey as much as I can. And I am not a whiskey drinker. I'm a rum drinker. But I happen
That's
to
fine.
basically have no rum in my house. Or not enough to make it appropriate. And so,
Sir, it's not what kind of alcohol it is, so long as it's alcohol. Whatever's available.
hey,
That-
but every
that's the
time I
Scottish way.
read my little book about Scotland, all I ever hear about is the whiskey. And when,
Yeah.
okay, what did you drink with your father, with your father when you guys were out celebrating?
Probably whiskey. I don't know. Probably nicotine as well.
So the key there is I just want my palate ready so that I don't take a drink of whiskey, especially a fine scotch or something like that, and go like, "Blah, whiskey, that's just," and
So-
offend your entire family and nationality. I have other ways of offending the Scottish tradition. I don't need to use it by the alcohol.
So when me, you, and a bunch of my friends go out dancing and go to the clubs and we go to the pubs, I think whiskey is going to be the last thing on the menu. It's going to be, instead, it'll be interesting and fun cocktails and strange, interesting, weird drinks that we find at the time. It's nothing to do with like tradition. It's just the alcohol nearby that is cheap and fun. That's what we do.
So we'll see. Like I said, I'm trying to get myself as ready as I can. That's the whole reason I went off my non-drinking kit, is just to be ready for Scotland, so I don't show up and embarrass myself by having 2 drinks and going, "Oh, yeah," and out cold or something. You know, I want to make sure I actually can be lively throughout the night and have a good showing, talking to your whole family, meeting everyone else. And so yes, that's kind of the goal. So I'm still drinking. Thankfully, my friends through the Game Fest have left, because I find out the only whiskey I truly appreciate is the nicer of the American whiskeys. So the Gentleman Jack, not the regular Jack Daniels, but the nicer Gentleman Jack, goes down fairly smooth. This time I cheated. It's not just over ice. I actually put it with a little bit of Coke, so it's going down much easier. But I have been drinking it basically on the rocks for the last month. Just whiskey on the rocks. And I have to let it melt down a pretty good amount, so that's half and half, basically water and whiskey, before I can truly sip it. Because when it's just whiskey initially, I take that first sip and it's like, "Whoa," and it burns. So, but I'm working
So
on
first of all, most Scots would call Jack Daniels not really whiskey.
it. Oh no, it's an American thing, so it's not truly a whiskey.
Okay.
I understand, but that's why I said American whiskey. And in mindful, I'll save that. I have ideas for things that, as much as you said I'm not supposed to provide presents or anything, some things will travel with me. And so deal with it.
Don't worry,
deal
you'll be
with
taking
it.
things back with you as well.
This is no comment. I have said something horrible. Anyhow,
Yeah, don't worry, not STDs if that's what you're
I was
going
gonna
to
say, I was like, where are you taking me, Ken? The gift that just keeps on giving. No, thank you.
Oh.
Exactly. Anyhow, so that's pretty much what I wanted to catch up to and what I've been up to in the last week. I think it's appropriate now for us to transition the show over and start talking about things geeky, because not only do we do the
Really?
things that we, focus on ourselves and like to tell you all about what we've been doing on our regular lives, we do like to concentrate a little bit about what this show's about, which is technology and geekery. So let's go ahead and switch things over and talk about some geek. And so with that, no! See, that got out of order. Stupid thing. There we go. That is it. Yeah, send your emails, but no. That's what I wanted to do. No, that's not what I wanted to do either. Stupid thing. There we go. I will fix this and do it right.
I'm a geek. Are you a geek? Geek cred, level up!
Alright, so, Ken, what have you been doing that's geeky this week?
Well, sir, in terms of geek, I've been doing a few little things, as I do. Nope, that's your list. That League,
That would
I
be,
play League of
that'd be an
Legends quite a lot,
interesting
so
way to
believe
do
it or
the
not-
show, right? That'd be an interesting way to do the show. Is like, you read mine, I'll read yours.
So you'd hate mine. All it says is like random like keywords for me. So you'd be like, Kenneth, this is elite speak. What are you doing?
Yeah, I was gonna say, but that would be interesting, right? To go through and kind of be like, so I think what Ken did this week is, because essentially, yes, our show notes as we type in are nothing but reminders for ourselves. If you ever go back and look through the show notes on the forums, because we post every week, there's a link in all this on the information about where the show notes are. Feel free to read through. That's essentially what it is we use to key ourselves off on the show. And how we do it, just so we both can kind of have insight into what we're going to talk about. We try not to tease ourselves too much or go too far ahead, so we know exactly, so we can have the discussion. But we have the notes there, so we can reference it, and that's even how we'll even play off or kind of set each other up for what the next bit is. A little bit of behind the scenes, but you can see that every week when I post the show notes, because that's right there what we use. So,
I mean, like my show notes, there's literally some bits in German, just for no reason. Like genuinely, I have a line there in German. Like you would not enjoy reading through my notes. But yeah, so I've been playing League of Legends. Surprise, surprise, usual. What I've been doing in it, I've been playing. I've been trying to just jump between different roles. I've tried to avoid going. I try to do 5 roles, then 5 roles. You know, I'm not trying to do support. I'm trying to do support, ADC, mid, top, jungle, and then a bit of each again.
I've been avoiding other roles. It's been like mid, ADC-ish, support-ish. That's it. I'm scared.
I've been really enjoying jungle, so I keep trying to go back to that.
I know, which screws me up. You keep trying to get me to do these normal games, and you're like, yeah, join in. I was like, oh, sweet, we'll be like paired, right? ADC support? No, Ken goes jungle, and I'm left with like random support number 3 or random AD, and I'm just like, damn it! I do so much better when I know how the person I'm playing with plays.
I play awesomely.
Yeah, but you're not playing with me when you're in jungle. I have to wait for you to maybe roll down every once in a while, and not feed as Warwick or something.
I am a fantastic jungle, thank you very much, and I always help out. Yeah, so I actually tried a Tryndamere jungle this week, which is probably I've tried a few things. I think that's the one that I actually enjoyed the most. I didn't realize that the lower his health is, the higher his crit gets. That's pretty sweet.
Wait,
so when he's using his ult,
on Trin?
Yeah.
Well, Tryndamere's like, just go man mode into everything. That's
exactly, and I've been learning how to do that because I kept doing things. For example, I kept trying to think that I could just go in and then use my ult straight away and attack. Turns out it's not what you do with Tryndamere.
No, you wait till he's almost dead and use his ult. I was gonna say, you wait till the health's almost nothing, and if you're really lucky, you have like a Kale with you or something like that, so he ults you right as you go in. Then you fight. You build up your rage, and then right before you die, you hit your ult, so that then you just do mass big sword crits of just like die. And then right before your ult gets out there, you spin to win out of there, and then you pop your health regen and run away. So yeah, that's how you play Trin.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so much fun playing with him. But you can build him tanky-ish, or you can build damage, and I always build him damage.
Yes.
It's just too much fun, just running in and just smashing people with this giant blade. The only problem I have is getting to them. Because you're just running towards them, then they run away, and there's a lot of time they're faster.
Which is why he has his slow. You wait for them to turn their backs on you, and then you slow them. Then you spin in. Then you start hit. They attack you. You wait for your health to get low. Then you ult. And then you hit, and you hope that your spin refreshes while you're hit before you die. And then you spin away and pop your life and run.
I understand, but it's just tough getting used to the concept because it's quite a unique character in that sense. Not many other characters play it that manner, you know. So it was.
There are only a few characters that work best with man mode. Well, all the reset champs, but they do it a little differently, right? Their job is to wait. Someone's low, full in, kill them, kill everybody, keep going, rah, and get a pentakill. So, which
I like if a step is get a pentakill, it sounds a bit about my league usually. Get out of my league.
Well, hey, I almost did in our game before the show today in the ARAM. I got the quadra-kill.
You did.
But I didn't get the penta. I was kind of like, damn it. But at the same time, I don't like hate for that, where it's like, I must get pentakill. I hate you for stealing. I'm just like, whatever, we're winning. Because ARAMs are, who cares? They're fun.
Oh, wait, you're telling me I shouldn't have spammed that guy's inbox?
What?
With, OMG noob, you stole his penta.
No, never do that. That's like, it's just so dumb in ARAM.
I said GTFO uninstall from life. Should I not have done that?
Those are some of the old good insults. I like how Stoner's coming in there as like, as we're talking man mode, says, Garen man mode! Stoner always man modes. Yay! So that's the funny part. Stoner, it's not about Garen man mode, but yes, Garen tends to. It's Stoner man mode. That was a more appropriate thing, because every time I played with you, every time I played with Mighty Stoner, he could be playing Soraka, and he's like, man mode in, I must be front line and kill. And it's like, no, step back, wait.
So League's been going really well. Been thoroughly enjoying that as usual. I also tried. What were we talking about there? Oh yeah, Garen. So we're playing ARAM, and it was all AP in our team apart from me. I was the only one who could possibly go kind of AP. So I did. I went AD Garen.
AD, true damage AD Garen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and I was plus. I did awesomely, probably because they're building against MR, right? And they were like,
yes.
it's just Garen. So they had no armor. I just ran in and was like, no, denied.
That's awesome.
I just destroyed them all. It was so much fun. Whenever I had my ult up, I would just instantly get a kill. Spin to win just like took off like 2/3 of everybody's health. It was fantastic. I had like infinity edge on Garen. It was ridiculous. I also feel sorry for the non-LOL listeners because they are just like, what?
There is no reason that we should have any non-League of Legends listeners. The whole point out there, guys, is it's a free-to-play game. It's the #1 in the world for free-to-play games. It is fun, especially if you play like I do, where you only do ARAMs and so you don't take it seriously. 5-man game is interesting, and that's where the strategy and tech comes into it, and being able to play truly as a team game. But if you don't want to do that, play ARAMs or play co-op versus the AI and just have fun. But with that, also, I mean, you could do something nice, like join in via Ken's link and go in and support him and give him more recognition for having started the game because we told you to. I would claim my links, but I feel like I've had my day to shine, and so I don't need anyone else signing up under me unless you really want to give me more free IP boosts. But I think Ken could probably, benefit now since I already have my 550 or so accounts that had started. Ken, what are you up to, or have you looked?
3, 4, maybe.
So with that, if you don't play League of Legends, which most of our fan base already does, or if you have friends who don't play League of Legends, by all means, please give them Ken's link to League of Legends and have them jump in through that and join the game. It is a fun time. It is a good game. And you should check it out. You'd have a better understanding of the things we talk about when we do bring it up. We don't spend entire shows talking about League, but we do play it enough that we have to talk about it all the time.
Although we could quite easily do an entire show about it. It's a very talkable topic.
Well, yeah, especially if we wanted to get into all the details about the different characters and things that are changing in the game, but that's not us.
Who's winning in the LCS, etc. Yeah, really easy to jump into. And and anybody who doesn't play League, or even those who do, are probably like, what did he just say?
Exactly.
What was that?
Well, no, it's funny because that's one of those few things that, as I've gone out in the world, when we talk about gaming as it's become a cultural thing and more relevant in today's society than when I was a kid, at least. I can't talk about your generation. You grew up with gaming everywhere. In my generation, back in the old days when Hando and I were kids, we were able to go through and there were a handful of people that we could find that all played the same games or understood them. League of Legends is one that with such a massive subscription base or people that are part of it, you can find people who at least are aware of League of Legends almost everywhere now. It's kind of scary. I talk geek stuff, and I have to actually go beyond League to talk real geek stuff because it's almost like, people that have played some kind of game on their smartphone, like Candy Crush or something like that, versus now League of Legends. It's like the same kind of crazy number base and the random people that have done it. So I hear around the office all the time, like kids I consider little military kids or something, talking about League games, and I have to stop myself from just walking over and interjecting like, well, I started playing League of Legends back in beta. I have the King Rammus skin. How's that feel, kiddos? And just kind of jump into anyone's conversation because they're talking gaming, at least on the League sense.
Oh no, I'm the same in general with any geek thing though. I'm just like, what's that? Talking to someone geek? Well, I probably know more about it than you do, and I'm just like that. Why would I even want to go forward with this conversation? I already see the asshole I'm going to be. Why would I want to do that? But I just feel like, hey, this is what I do. It's all that I am. Talk to me.
Well, yeah. Gaming is such a big thing in my life, damn it.
I know. I don't know about you guys in America, but here that's very much like soccer. You know, everybody
Thank
here,
you, Ken.
here
No.
loves-
Thank you very much for saying that correctly.
No problem. No
For
problem.
bringing in saying soccer. I appreciate that.
No problem. I can translate for you guys. I'm good at that now. I've lived with American for some years now, so I've learned how to make fun of her efficiently. So yes, football is very a very very big thing here. Like it's difficult to find men to talk to, and if you don't
Okay.
know them, the common topic always to go to is football. Like, oh, so who do you support?
Yeah, when you random, it's same thing here with footballs kind of thing. If you show up at a bar and you're just chatting around, if you bring up football, American football, there's almost any time that you can find somebody to at least start talking about their game, their team, whatever it is. Today, at some point today, my Chargers are playing at a home field. Say that right? Advantage against the Denver Broncos where I live, and so I should watch that or something. Although I have no idea when it happens, and I'm kind of like, meh. I hope my Chargers win. That's the level of fan I am. I like my Chargers. I hope they win. I don't have to watch every game, and so I just kind of like, yeah.
Well, my one was more along the lines of, I used to support Celtic when I was 7, and then they were like, or even Rangers, and they were like, that team doesn't exist anymore. They fell out the league or something, and I was like, oh, I don't know. Like I honestly am so far away from this, I couldn't help you. Do you want to talk about biology?
Exactly.
do you want to talk about Felicia Day? I mean.
Well,
you did.
Ken, you did see that Felicia Day got all painted up for science, right? Or for a
Yes.
commercial with Ford that she was like in full body paint.
Of course, I saw it. Do you need to ask?
Just curious. I don't know. You've been busy. You might have missed that little tidbit.
But I have
Seeing her
Instagram
in
again.
not much more than body paint and little somethings or others.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I
just making
have
sure.
Instagram, so I can see. I see the close-up.
You're a woman. Oh wait, what?
I'll dive on that next, actually, just since it's there. So yeah, speaking of Instagram, and not diving on Felicia Day, I
wonder why we never got a response on that request to interview Felicia Day.
Yeah. Hey, her secretary responded to us. I'll take that as a claim to fame.
Bah! Yeah. Sorry, Felicia is currently busy and has no time for your piddly little podcast. Continue on.
She has things that actually make her money. So yeah, she's not coming to yours unless you want to pay her lots of money. Nah, they didn't actually say that. Anyway,
Although Ken is, if any of your people are listening out there for Felicia Day, Ken is more than willing to make up for things that are non-monetary with physical action. Do you need a man to take his time and go slow? Come down and make sure that you're having a lively day. Ken will
Wayne,
be that.
don't
And
be
a-
so
and a-
crude.
and a
I am willing to
Scottish
offer
man.
services.
Exactly.
High class, high quality services.
Scottish services, he will bring his large claymore to the fight. Hint, hint,
yes,
wink, wink,
yes, large
say
tool
no
set.
more.
Large skill set, large tool set. Yes.
Isn't this why I stopped drinking on the show? Anyhow, continue, sir.
I'm not drinking. Drinking coffee. This is just me not talking normally. Yes. So yes, got my new phone. So I was looking at smartphones out there, and I was thinking to myself, hey, the Note 4 looks good because I had a Samsung Galaxy S4, and I thought, hey, I'd like a bigger screen, so the Note looks like a great idea, and I'm used to the kind of OS and stuff.
That's
so
a 4, so it's basically the same thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's very similar, right? I looked into it, I was like, yeah, that's probably going to be my choice. And I realized it's not going to be out for a month or so, a couple months ago, so I said I'd wait. In the meantime, Kitten had my old phone, because she
Okay.
needed it for work and stuff. I didn't want her traveling, and she travels a lot later than I do to get back from work, often getting
fair
back
enough.
at midnight, and public transport and stuff, so I wanted to have a way to call if she ever gets in trouble or anything in public transport, or needs a lift or whatever. So, I've been phoneless for 3 months, and I finally looked around again, just before I went and got the Note 4, and saw that there's actually better options out there now. I saw that I could get a Nexus 6, which is slightly higher spec, and a bit different. I've never had a Nexus phone before. I've heard some people who've had one and have good reviews. For example, Gnomewise actually used to have a Nexus, I think. And they love it. And I was like, okay, well, I'll kind of give it a shot. You know, I'd like to do different things each cycle. Last time I was an iPhone. This time I was an Android. This time I'm a different Android, at least. So, got it. And I thought to myself, anybody who's on the camera can see, this is quite a big phone. I
Gee
thought.
whiz, it's like the size of your face.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy
It is
cow.
honestly about the size of my face. It's pretty. The first thing I thought about is, man, that's huge. Secondly, my thumb can't even reach all the way across it.
Yep.
That's a bit insane. So you have to use 2 hands. Well, you know, I've always had the problem though. It's always too big to have to use 2 hands.
With the new phone, yes.
Yeah, with a new phone. So that was the first thoughts. Then I turned it on, and it was quite pretty. The opening screen, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting it much. The background that I had set was a bit mediocre. I was like, oh, I want to see the true beauty of this thing. I know the resolution on it is better than any of my TVs or monitors in here. So I want to see it in its full glory. So I installed a couple like 4K high-res, 2K resolution wallpapers, and moving virtual background things, and wow, I was like, okay, that's pretty. I like this. Okay, that's wow. Okay, signed into my Google account. It synced all my apps from the other phone across, and that was brilliant. I was instantly set up. I had the same keyboard and everything, so I didn't have to like relearn the phone. I liked
nice.
that. I then installed the old launcher that I had, so it was the same. Even though I'm on the latest Android version, I still could install an old launcher that was similar to my old phone. So I was like, sweet, I'm like
Yeah,
using
and
the
it
same.
lets you get right in and kind of have that same experience you're used to.
It's nothing to do with like I want it to be the exact same as my old phone. It's more like these are my preferences to what I enjoy in a phone.
This is how you use the phone. This is where you like your icons to be. This is, what you want to happen when you click certain things. That makes total sense.
Exactly. So I had that done, and I decided to let's look at a video. So I went onto YouTube and I looked at a video, and I said, "Oh my God, Kitten, come here." She came over and had a look and went, "Oh my God, it is so beautiful." I don't think I could actually tell you in words how pretty this phone screen actually is.
Well, what's the resolution of this screen?
I don't know the exact spec. Let me actually pull it up. Nexus 6 Res. Okay. So it's really pretty. Anyway, I know the camera is in 4K, which is pretty sweet. So I was definitely enjoying showing off with that. It's a 5.2-inch display, 560 ppi, so that's 560 pixels per inch. Which is pretty sweet. The resolution of the screen is 1440 by 2560.
Oh wow! So it's at that kind of that high-res monitor that's not quite 4K size. Usually what you see from the higher resolution 24-inch monitors, and stuff like that. That's a pretty darn good resolution.
So I was kind of blown away, absolutely blown away. And when I was at work, I was showing people that as well, and they were just like, "Wow!" And about 4 or 5 people have honestly said to me, "Well, I know what my next phone's going to be." Like they just decided for them. They're just like, "That is so pretty." And they're like, "What's the battery life like?"
Yeah, one of the advantages of the new phones, both with the size, because with the size allows you to put more components in there, because guess what? The GPS, Bluetooth, regular phone receiver, memory card slot, stuff like that haven't got any bigger. Those chips are all the same size, so what do you do instead? You put a big-ass battery in there. So as you're getting these big things with the prettier screens, you're also getting nicer battery support, things like that. They're still staying very lightweight, which is very surprising. It's not like you're carrying a brick with you. Although the challenge is almost that as you get to these bigger screens and the just bigger phone as a whole, because I've heard this from people who own the new iPhone 6 Plus, is like they're fine holding the phone and using it and stuff like that, even though, like you said, Ken, you can't quite reach that thumb across. But when they are done using it and go to stick it in their pocket or something like that, they have to take an extra moment to make sure they're actually putting it in their pocket and not halfway in or slightly, because they're afraid if they move then it's going to fly out. Things like that, which is kind of scary.
I have had that issue. I've had a couple of times where, it's half in, half out, or it's so thin that I'm not sure if it's there, and it's so light I'm not sure if it's there. And again, not complaining about that. That's pretty sweet. I like it being that light. I like it not being intrusive. I think it's pretty much perfect, actually. So, pretty much blown away by that. Battery life, it's not. I'm not going to say it's spectacular. It's not as if it lasts for 3-4 days without charge.
Since the advent of smartphones, battery life is like meh. I remember
That
my
being
old
said-
Nokia lasted 4 days when I talked on it, and I didn't have to charge it. But it just had a little front screen.
That being said, my old phone, we took it to Geneva because we only had that. And we had it on airplane mode and only turned it on when we really needed it, because obviously it's expensive using things abroad, roaming charges and the likes.
Oh, trust me, when I head over there, airplane mode all the way.
Yeah.
Maybe local Wi-Fi, no cellular. Do not call me while I'm over the holidays.
Yeah, I'll give you my my Wi-Fi details, by the way. I might actually share my 4G with you, so you can just have 4G through Wi-Fi constantly. That'd be sweet. Anyway, yes. So, however, my old phone, I thought it had poor battery life because I use it so much, right? I use my phone pretty much constantly. Like, I'd say 50 minutes an hour at least when I'm like at home, and when I'm about, it's probably 55 minutes out of 60. You know, it's pretty intense. So I first thought that my old battery was terrible, my old phone. After bringing it to Geneva and having airplane mode, we didn't charge it once. I had it on the whole time for like 5-6 days away, including traveling and including checking out maps and stuff occasionally, but keeping it on airplane mode otherwise. And I thought, wow, that's an impressive battery life, and this one is definitely better. So I'm still blown away by the fact that it's a good battery life, right? It still is a damn good battery life. However, I use it a lot right now. It's a new phone, it's shiny, and I'm just like, tasty. I can play nice games on this, and I can watch cool videos, and I can do this, and I can do that. So, because of all that, yeah, it kind of runs out in about a day or so. So far, it's been I've never had to charge it during the day. I just need to wait till nighttime, so it's always been fine. It suits my needs perfectly, honestly. Other than that, let's see. What is good about this phone?
It's shiny
4G.
and new.
Yeah, it's shiny and new, and I like it. It's 4G, so the first time ever. I've never had 4G before, and I've had perfect connectivity. Anybody in the UK, highly recommend Vodafone. I've never used them before, and they're actually surprisingly good. I used O2 before, and I was kind of blown away, and T-Mobile as well. So I was kind of blown away by the quality. I've never not had 4G so far, and I live in places that are really remote. So that's pretty sweet.
like the second biggest city in Scotland, Glasgow. So yeah,
I don't
really
live in
remote.
it. I live out in the outskirts where there's no connectivity normally at all. Never mind even 4G. Thank you very much. So I was very much impressed with that. Finally, the other thing I really enjoyed about this phone, it is always listening.
Because that
You can turn
sounds
it off.
safe.
You can turn that off, and it comes on off by default. I had to find the option to turn it on because I want it to be on. Basically, if I ever say I'm going to try it and it's not going to work on air, I know it won't work. I'd say it has about a 2 out of 3 success rate so far. It's not the best thing. Having a Scottish accent is not the best idea for a voice recognition ever anyway. But let's try this out. Okay, Google. Hey, it's on. I did it. Okay, play music. Okay, wait.
It's funny because for everyone listening, Ken was trying to show me this the other day as we were hanging out. And the funny part is because he really wasn't sure what he was trying to get the phone to demonstrate, he would say, "Okay, Google," or whatever it was.
How cool was that?
Hey, it worked. But he would kick it on, and then he was like, do something. You know, he didn't have it set up because most people, when they say like the "Okay Google" or something, like "Okay Google, give me directions to the local pub" or whatever it is, they actually have what they wanted to do. Because Ken was just trying to demonstrate, it was just "Okay Google, do something cool, show off." And so the phone was like, "What?"
It's funny, every time I try, everybody else asks to use it, I'm like, "Sure, on you go." Just they're like, "What do I say?" I'm like, "Oh, I'll just say "Okay Google," and then they say it, and then they go. And they totally choke as well. They're like, "I don't know what to do now. I have no idea what I want to do." And most of them sort of like go red or look away, like they're almost like embarrassed, like, "Oh no, I don't know what I'm doing."
Hey, I remember when
really
I used
funny.
to do the Siri stuff, right? And unfortunately, it doesn't like say anything or do anything. And I basically shut it off because I'm just like this annoying POS. But let's see, just for heaven's sake, because this is an old 4S, let me try something, which is just one of my old favorites. But let's see if it'll kick on. So it kicks on, and I say, "Hello, Siri. What are you made of?"
The word for it in your language. Sorry about that.
Let's see. Let's try that again. What are you made of? Really? It's not going to give me anything. It just says like what I said. What are you made of? It's like, come on. It's still listening to me, but it has nothing to say. It's just putting words on the screen now as I talk. It doesn't. It's like constantly just like, "This is what you're saying, and I don't know what you want me to do." Oh,
Nice.
fail.
Really selling iPhones today.
Well, like I said, it's one of those things with Siri that I'm just like,
Awesomeness.
It answered though. It said pure awesomeness. No, there was one comment that I had canned back when it first launched that I thought was amazing because it would actually say like the physical construction of the phone, where it said like certain kind of composites and plastics and metals and stuff. I keep wanting it to repeat that, but I've never got it to succeed. And so I'll give it one more shot, and I'm curious if you do the same. Be like, Siri, what is the meaning of life?
I don't believe there is a consensus on that question.
Well, that's not bad. It used to do, but again, it used to do silly things like it would do number 42 and things like that. What's what does Google phone do for you when you say like that? If you ask it a question, I'm curious as a direct comparison. Ask it the same thing. Say, okay, Google, what is the meaning of life? Do the same thing.
Okay, Google. What is the meaning of life?
Let's see if it gives you the geeky answer or not.
It's actually doing it though.
So you should have put that into your microphone, Ken.
Oh, sorry. I thought you could all hear it. It is actually just saying like the meaning of life is.
I heard it's a religious conscious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like okay. Thanks for actually giving me real information. I guess.
Boring.
I actually want to know the meaning of life. Jeez.
Anyhow, yeah, exactly.
Good.
All right, give us one more thing about what you've been doing, Geeky Ken, before we take a break because we're a little late for that. Then we'll come back and I'll talk about what I do. Yes, I know. I'm trying to keep structure to the show. I'm sorry. Heaven forbid I try to be somewhat professional.
Really, only one? I've got so many more things.
Okay. Well, give me one more thing before the break, and we can come back and you continue talking about yourself, Ken, because that's how we are.
I love doing that. That's my favorite thing to do. That's why we have the show, isn't it? So we can talk about ourselves.
In that case, I'm just going to give us a break, and then we'll be back. And Ken, you can talk about more.
Oh, okay.
So with that, you're listening to Show X, and we will be back right after this.
Send in your emails to showx@vtwproductions.com.
the World production would like to thank JitBit Software for the use of RSS Feed Creator. The show has its RSS feed created and maintained by RSS Feed Creator, with its easy-to-understand interface and ability to upload all with a simple click. You can't make it any easier. Try out all their awesome software at www.jitbit.com or see the link on our front page at vtwproductions.com.
You're listening to Show X on VTWProductions.com.
Hey everybody, we're back, and we're actually going to continue with our bit of geek cred, but I want to make sure I do it at the same time as allow for us to talk about the things that you've emailed in the show with your geek cred. So, yes, I killed things off a little early because we have a lot to talk about since we're catching up.
Oh, yeah.
So what you were listening to was my good friend and his group Edifice, and you were listening to one of their songs, Myelinate. But I cut it off a little early so we could get back and talk, because we have gotten emails! And so it is time for us to address those. So, Ken, hopefully you've also gotten into the emails, but let us start things off from one of our good friends. And this coming from Tom Bad Guy. Says, don't know if you guys saw this, but Capcom Cup was yesterday. Street Fighter Tourney, and there was the first live gameplay of Street Fighter V. Oh, I totally missed that, but would have watched that. Also, Charlie from Street Fighter Alpha Series is revealed as a character, and he includes a YouTube link. So I'm going to copy that link. I'm going to throw it into the show notes as well, so that everybody can look up and see the whole Street Fighter V announcement. Let's see. Awesome. Thank you very much, Tom. And no, I missed that. I see you always posting on the Twitter feeds, which for everyone out there, if you do not, you should follow Tom Bad Guy on the Twitters. I mean, you should follow us, of course. But at the same time, Tom Bad Guy, as long as the Tales of Relevant Thought crew, Tort, they are back in on the air through this holiday time frame. We're very happy for that. But follow at Tom_Bad Guy on Twitter, and you'll be able to keep up with everything he states. He does a lot of tweets about the gaming world when it comes to fight games and stuff, because Tom is a big fan of fight games and knows his stuff. Not only is he a comic book guru, but he is a fight game aficionado. And so between the two, you can get a lot of great updates from Tom. So follow him at Tom_Bad Guy at Twitter. All right, so thank you for that, Tom. And on to you, Ken. What do you have as our next email?
Sure. Woo! My first email to the show. I mean, email is old school, right? So who does this anymore?
Yes, other than just sending me things via Steam chat for us to talk about on the show. Thank you.
Yeah. This is from Pause2142. So, I got a small surprise for the show in the form of a special guest.
Gosh, I hope this happens.
Not confirmed yet.
I hope this happens.
I couldn't help but to share this little teaser. I may have some inside information on this as well, as you told me. So that's cool. I know things. That's cool. Look forward to cool things, maybe, or maybe not.
All right.
For some non-geeky news, I went to Escape Room Pittsburgh for my roommate's friend's birthday, where you have to find clues to escape the room. There were various clues, including brain teasers, blacklight hints, hidden doorways, that's pretty cool, and various other key and safe puzzles. It was loads of fun and encouraged people to find an escape room place near them. On the geeky side of things, I've admittedly been lacking. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare let me down, and I don't know if I can forgive it.
No, Call of Duty does that so much. Call of Duty does that so much. It touches you wrong at night when nobody's looking, and it's just hard to come to terms with that and come back in public the next day.
Well, it's good when nobody sees it, though, because then it's even more embarrassing. For example, when your friends are there.
Ooh.
Laughing. Instead, I've been playing more Battlefield 4, and vowed to start playing some of the games I've yet to touch on Steam, including The Evil Within, Lords of the Fallen, yep, Guacamelee, Rayman Legends, and hopefully finish Shadow of Mordor. I never finished Shadow of Mordor.
I'm curious how many people actually finish it, because unfortunately the game becomes very repetitive. As much as it is a fun experience, and it's a neat way they built the game, it's great visuals, I don't know how many people I know that have actually finished that game, so that'd be curious.
Yep, exactly. It gets very dull very soon. I would like to warn people that Steam's winter sale starts next week. Prepare your wallets.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. Oh, by the way, Mr. Wayne, me and Ken were talking, and we were thinking about getting you Steam games as a thank you for coming through and stuff, and for Christmas and stuff. So you
Hey,
get to decide.
me coming through for Christmas is my own gift. I get to see Scotland for the first time.
Be sure to have your wish list updated, or I'm buying you random crap that you might not like.
So here's the problem with that, though. I have so many games that I will never play. I have 290 Steam list games, and not even a half of those are installed. And I will talk about some of what I've been gaming in my Geek Cred, but don't buy me games, people. Don't. I actually am thinking about something to do for, not necessarily Patreon, but some kind of donation that I would like for gifting, which is to build a separate pool of money so I could do something truly ridiculous, but I've been tempted. I may talk about that. We'll see. It just popped in my head. I was like, maybe I'll crowdsource it versus paying for it myself. We'll see. Anyhow, continue.
Skydiving Wayne, perhaps.
Oh, God, no, I've done that once. I have the video to prove it. I'll never do it again. Thank you.
Yeah. On a side note, I purchased a Razer Nabu, not just like a cutthroat razor. Recently, and we'll be posting a small review on the VTW forums as soon as I have enough time with it. Cool. Thank you very much for your email, Mr. Paws. That's very cool. New kit is always fun, so I hope you do enjoy.
Well, and especially
the Steam Winter
because-
Sale is going to bite all of our asses.
Well, it's funny, right? Steam sales come up just like, well, it's not even just Steam sales now. And I make sure you guys check the forums as the holidays approach, because we do our little, we have the page that we update that talks about some of the best sales that are out there, as well as the gifting thread that'll start up here again, where people like to gift each other in a round robin kind of way over the holidays. So if you do have updated wish list, people will often send a gift to someone else in their Steam friends list, and then the idea is someone afterwards would then gift someone else. And so with that, it's like go. And so definitely keep track of those things. It's a fun time during the holidays. We do it every major sales that happens during the summer and during the winter. And so it's about to come up again. Join in, be part of the fun, share gifts amongst each other. We're a great community for that. So, yeah, definitely take advantage. But there's other sites like Good Old Gaming, so GOG.com. They've been having sales already over the winter. Humble Bundle, because they have not only the Humble Bundles, but the actual Humble Store, which has discounts on games. One of my favorites, Green Man Gaming, because they usually do the same sales you see elsewhere, as well as an additional site sale where they'll do a discount on top of those ones for Steam codes, things like that. So check all of those sites for different kind of gaming deals. There's going to be a ton during the holidays. So if there's some gem that you've been looking for the past however long, you just never picked up because it was too expensive or it wasn't a priority, go look at those sites today. One of the ones that just came up was all of Batman Arkham series. So the original Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, as well as the Origins set are on sale with all of the DLC for $9.99. And I forget which site's doing it. I'd have to go look it up again, but there is a site out there doing it for $10. You get all of the Arkham series that were ever made. So deals like that, which are pretty amazing. So we are in the season. All right, thank you, Pause. And yes, check out, he has a link that I'll post in the show notes as well about the Nabu from Razer at Razer Zone, talking about that new tech that he has picked up. So thank you very much for that, Pause, and thank you for finally writing into the show. You do a great job on the forums. It's good to hear you here as well. Awesome.
Definitely.
All right, on to the next email, and this coming, a short one, but from, well, it says short, slight, not quite wall of text, one full page. This coming in as our Happy Chibi Day. So from Copy. It says, greetings, Mr. Wayne and Dr. Lord Reverend and Bachelor of Science Ken Neil Reed II. Don't think I've had enough accomplished to complete a proper copy mail, but I'll make a sad attempt at it anyways. Please, sad. Thursday the 11th was Chibi Day! Happy birthday, Chibi! Although we call it Chibi Day, we tend to celebrate until Christmas just because we can. We talked on Skype and played Fantasy Life for many hours. Plans for Anime North have changed. Again, people are bailing on groups and joining other groups, and others have given up altogether and now going solo. I'm one of the few taking the latter path, but I'm not truly solo, as Chibi will accompany me in the projects I've chosen to take on. Power tools and minor engineering skills will be required for my new project of insanity. Building digit grade stilts and going full on mascot. The hardest part will probably be keeping my tail off the ground. Tail support is the worst, but at least I only have to one this time. Wish me luck. Yes, versus her 9 tails she did last time, as she did the combined RE and 9 tails from from
very good.
Naruto and
Yeah.
everything all together, which was amazing. Good job, Copy. This one, I know what she's going to be, and it is a full mascot. So if she can pull it off, amazing. I know you can. Nothing else going on this week. Going shopping for materials with Jolly tomorrow because I need the extra pair of arms to help me carry stupid amounts of upholstery foam for my hugely plush costume. Apparently, I've inspired a handful of people and they're joining my bandwagon, which is kind of counterproductive to my whole screw you guys, I'm going solo cosplay. I want to be the very best like no one ever was. Anyone going to be Anime North is more than welcome to hunt me down, but you better bring a Master Ball. Big smiley heart face. I'll likely be back in my hometown next weekend, but will still be available on Sunday. See you then. Much love, the original Copy. P.S. Meow. All right. Thank you very much, Copy. We always appreciate your emails, and it is never a sad attempt. Final email
Got a
for
lot of
you,
copies.
sir.
Indeed. Hey, X-Men! For fear of roboting with the sketchy intertubes through the great state of Tennessee. Notice I managed to work that one out from the initial.
Hey, look at that. Look at that. You got the TN. You got that. Tennessee. Good job.
I decided to go old school. I'm here at my brother's place and have been doing all the overindulgences that are required for the holiday season. I've been playing lots of War Thunder with the nephews, which they love, and getting
Nice.
them into the German tank tree. Cool. Gonna hold back any jokes about teaching kids about German tanks.
Hi!
Achieved head clicker in loadout, which means 500 plus headshots, and had a game that put me on the 20 kills and 7 deaths.
Nice.
Go rocket boots and rocket boots and hammer carrier. On the plane ride down here, I played my gift from Ken, Jazzpunk, a silly but very entertaining little FPS puzzle game that has a Jetsons-like 60s art style, where you play a secret agent. Great for when you have no internet access. I'm glad you're enjoying, sir.
That's actually an important thing to consider, and it's something I have to look at before I head over for my trip. Is all the things I can acquire for non-internet access games as we're in this internet-connected phase of time.
Send emails with suggestions, guys, of books, music, films, and games.
And the challenge is not knowing what my seat's going to be like. I don't know if I'll have a plug that'll give me power during the flight, and so I'm going to bring my extra battery and things like that, and I feel like I'm going to start on the laptop, and I'll have to end on the phone and repower the phone as I'm going through the air, so we'll see. I have no idea how I'm going to manage, because I forget how long an overall flight it is, but
you
significant.
can buy those little chargers. They're quite. I think they're quite.
Oh,
worth
I
it. I'm
do.
planning
No,
to
I
get one
have.
myself.
I have a decent
Okay.
one for the phone, but I don't have one for the laptop. And so I'm limited
okay,
to which
okay.
games I can play.
That is fair enough, because I've been tempted by one, but I haven't got one yet. It's been it being the holidays. I have a drink recommendation. Take a short glass, 2 shots of good scotch, ice cubes. That's it. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Fill to the top with orange juice. Sprinkle cinnamon on top. It's surprising how well it all blends together. Try it. Trust me. Your pal, Hando. Just remember that if you do use cinnamon, that's totally fine, but nutmeg in high quantities is actually surprisingly poisonous, so be careful. Sorry, not poisonous. Venomous. Is it venomous or poisonous? No, it's poisonous. That's the right one. So be careful with that. That's actually a thing. Nutmeg, poison. I want to make sure I'm not lying, actually. Yeah, it can be very toxic during pregnancy, especially, so be careful with that, Miss Poosser. How is Poosser
Actually,
doing?
no.
Is she with us?
You say that, but a big congrats. Pusa is no longer pregnant.
What? Oh, did everything go well? Did everything go well?
As far as I know, I have not seen anything official other than the announcement that the Spawn now has a little sister. And so that is something we absolutely need to mention and send out a huge congrats thanks to you and leveling up as you continue to increase the brood. And so congratulations to you, Miss Pusa, although you're not here to hear it because you're recovering. And so congrats, and as far as I know, everything is going good. That's what that is. So yes, as far as I
Miss
know.
Pusa. That is fantastic news. Oh, that makes me happy. All right, that's one way to increase the VTW clan anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. Much like the Catholic Church, we're going to increase the viewership and listenership by just go out there, have births, and bring more people into the fold. Yes.
Exactly. Actually, make new people. Don't convert. Make them. That's pretty metal. Okay, so thank you for your email very much. Thank you so much, Mr. Hando.
All right, so
As
Ken,
always.
you would like to
So-
continue with your Geek Cred of the Week.
Yes, I would. So in terms of geekery and credery, I have been playing League of Legends, like I mentioned. I've also been I found this game called Warlock, and I had it on my wish list for a long time because I thought, it's called Warlock, it's got magic, it must be cool. I'll probably enjoy it just because it's got magic in it, right? So I left it there and didn't really know anything about the game. Then I got it through the Indie Bundle. I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to play a game from the Indie Bundle that I buy almost every single time. So I installed it, downloaded it, and tried it out. And I thought, wait a minute. This is like Civ with magic. This is awesome. And I played, actually, let me find out. In the past 2 weeks, remember, I was away for, in Geneva half of that time. Where am I? Warlocks. I played 23 hours in the past couple of weeks.
Okay.
Considering I've also been playing League and stuff, that's not too shabby. So thoroughly enjoying that. Really, really good fun. I'm kind of bored of it now. I've uninstalled it now. It's basically Civ with magic. It's all it is, but a little bit simpler, and the graphics aren't quite as nice, but it is still worth a shot. So I would recommend. Pathfinder, a quick update with that. I was wanting to first of all have a real life gang of people come around and do it. Then I wanted to do it over Skype with a couple of guys, and one of them seems kind of eager, the other one doesn't. So it's kind of all on hold again. I'm like, come on, I just want to play a game. So they're holding off on that again for a while. And lastly, the last little thing I want to mention: Ich spreche kleine Deutsch.
Okay.
I've been doing some lessons online. You know me, I go through phases of like, I'm going to be extremely fit. No, I'm going to learn German. No, I'm going to be really good at coding. I want to be a pen tester. I am so bad for this. I'm so bad for having phases like this. But hey, I'm slowly becoming okay at everything. I'm now
that is my entire life. Master of none. The whole I am good at a little bit of everything and tend to be above average at most things, but I am not a master of anything.
Yeah.
So yes.
So that was my that's what I managed to do. Is I'm now level 7 at German. I'm proud to say. I've never had that before, so that's new for me. I did some in high school. I did like 3-4 years of it, but I've pretty much lost all that knowledge now. So jumping back into it, I've now been able to get to level 7 quite quickly in about a week and a half. On Duolingo.com, that's Duolingo.com. It's completely free and it's quite good for learning a bunch of languages. It doesn't have every single language out there, but has a good few. I was wanting to do Cantonese actually, first of all, but sadly didn't have that. But they have things like Russian, Italian, Spanish, French, kind of like the common ones, that you learn in school kind of thing. So that's very cool. I'm enjoying that, and I'll keep you updated if I'm even doing it by next week or if I've given up or not.
Gotcha.
So, how about you? What have you been up to, sir, in your geek
Yay,
thread?
my turn about geek. What have I been doing?
You've got 27 minutes. That's about the normal time.
So, what have I been doing geek this week? So, the first thing I want to say is it is the holiday season, and for at least here in America, we tend to do a lot of shopping and getting gifts for all of our friends, family, and such. Well, for us and my family, we focus mostly on the nephews and nieces, because us being older and having jobs, we're usually able to get all the things we want throughout the year, and so in order to reduce the stress on what it might be to try to get my siblings or parents presents, we really focus on the next generation. So this year I went a little silly, partly because end of the year I've now donated all the monies I can to my 401k throughout the year, and so in doing so, I get the extra money at the end of the year where I'm no longer donating to the 401k, so it feels like I got a much bigger paycheck. Plus, I cash out all my holidays, so it's like more monies for vacations and gifts. But anyhow, so I basically, for the first time in a while, have bought all of my nephews and nieces gifts. And I've done all but one of it via online shopping. So I have to give, it is one of the new trends that you see these days, and especially for me it's a big deal because I have nephews out in one state, nieces out in another state, and family kind of scattered about, that instead of buying all the things locally, packaging them up, and shipping them myself, I was able to utilize all these online services. Another big advantage of it is because when I bought my receiver through Amazon or something on a sale they had an offer for a free month of Amazon Prime. I took advantage of that, and so I used as many of the opportunities I could to use Prime shipping here in the U.S. with the gifts I bought for my nephews and nieces. So all the gifts basically shipped for free, which is great because it meant I could go back and use their gift wrapping service that they offer for about $4 per item, as well. That's so fantastic. It gets delivered with their name on it, gift wrapped, and a little message saying Merry Christmas. So I'm very excited.
I've done the exact same thing with Kitten. It's actually under the tree right now. It arrived today. I ordered it through Prime. I tried their 1 month out as of now, so that if there's anything else I'm panicking about before the day, like, I forgot about this person, it'll be here.
Yes, 2 days shipping.
I love this
most places. So it's funny, right? Because I like to go out to the stores and visualize and go and touch, feel, and get hands-on with a lot of gifts and items like that. I do. I enjoy. I like because I am able to see things I would never otherwise necessarily see on the same shelf that's kind of organized the same way. So like all the action figures for the nephews, I may see something like, you asked for this, but this thing over here is bad arse, and I'm going to do this. Because I've done it in the past. I've done like Toys R Us and stuff where they were asking for certain gifts, and I got them something along those lines, but then I'd see like this Transformer or something that was like, okay, if I was your age, this is amazing. And I've done successfully where I've purchased something like that, sent them, and they were like, okay, that's really cool, and they were very happy. Something I never thought they would have wanted, which is a little harder to do on online stores, because on online stores, unless I go through the path of going by genre, like going down the little tree of what item I'm looking for to find it, I'm never going to see all those other items. Instead, I pretty much just search for the specific item I want, find it, buy it, ship it, done. And so you lose some of that exploration type deal, right? Now, unless you really go to each department and kind of look through the whole list to go find yours, which I don't do unless I go to like ThinkGeek or something like that. And so I like going to stores still because I'll see things I never knew existed. And so that's part of it. But with this Amazon stuff, I was able to buy pretty much everything one night after work and said, I'm going to do my Christmas shopping tonight. Done. Now, I say that. I did actually buy one thing the week before that I need to go wrap up today and get shipped out tomorrow when I hopefully pick up my phone. But in doing that, I have one thing I have to ship myself and wrap myself. Everything else is done. I'm happy because I went everything from pretty big gifts physically to a lot of littler things or multiple things and got them all sent out. We'll see how it goes. I'll have to wait for feedback from my nephews and nieces to see what they think before I know if it was truly a success. But man, was it convenient. And with the Prime, because shipping was basically free, I didn't feel bad adding the gift wrapping and stuff like that. Like, done. I'm happy.
Yep. Yeah, the $4. While you think that's quite a lot of money, I was the exact same when I did Kittens one. I was like, that's a fair bit. That's a fair bit of a price. Like I can save money, but and I was like, no. What am I thinking? No, just get it done. It's so efficient. I'll happily pay them £10 to have these like 3 or 4 things wrapped. Fan dabby dozy. So I did that as well, and I think she might be a little bit mad that I didn't wrap a single present so far. But
does she get a gift and is it wrapped?
What?
Does she get a gift and is it wrapped?
Yeah, exactly.
Does it matter that it happened through your hands or that a professional did it?
No, I just specialized in my own trade, then handed the production essence that is money into another's hand to do the same.
It's all about the value of your time. How long would it take for you to go get the wrapping paper, wrap it, make it look really nice, and ship it out, versus how much of your time did it cost for you to then pay someone else to do it? Because that $4 for my time is about 10-15 minutes of my life at work, if that, and it paid for this to get done, so it's like totally worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Besides, I had everything of hers that she wanted. She linked it to in this like Google Drive document. She had like 3 pages of links because she's a woman. So not that I'm sexist at all. And I had like 2 links, by the way. That was why I was like, I want this and this. That's what I'm getting. And she's like, I want some of these. Some of them are like £600 bags. I was like, why did you link that? I mean, seriously, do you think I'm going to get you that?
You never know. You may feel generous.
So what I did is I opened all the tabs, looked through them all, I was like, too expensive, too expensive, too expensive, too expensive. That's a good one. Too expensive, too expensive. Then I have like 3 or 4 left over. I'm like, done, go, wrap, please, send, got them. All done. I don't even need to search for presents. I'm still going to go out and get a couple things, to make it a bit more personal.
Yeah,
I think. But,
exactly.
Otherwise, I think that's freaking awesome, though.
I don't have to worry about that. I don't have anyone that I have to do the special thing for, so it's like, here's gifts, done. I'm going to fly to Scotland. See you guys. It makes it a little easier for that as well.
Bye!
Yeah, well, another thing we did, and this is thanks to my brother Earth in the IRC for reminding me, is one of the things that we helped make this a real success is all of us together for the nephews and nieces, so the parents, my brother and sister, with their kids, what they did is novel this year only, is they basically created a Facebook group with all of us on it and labeled it, named the group, because you can do that on Facebook, labeled the group as each of the kids, their wish list. And what they did on top of that is they took the kids out to Barnes & Noble or Toys R Us or other stores and had them look at gifts they liked, took a picture of them either pointing to or holding said item, and then they took all those pictures and posted it online. So in each group, we have Nephew 1, Nephew 2's list, them going, I want this, I want this, I want this, as well as niece, And so it just was like, and then we communicated. We said, I bought this, I bought that, you bought this, you bought that. So none of us are doing no redundancy. And they're essentially going to get exactly what they want for Christmas. Awesome. Done.
Nope.
Next.
Nope. What's going to happen is when the uncles and aunties don't get them those things, they'll be even more disappointed than before because they gave them specific instructions.
They're getting hooked up.
Through.
These kids are getting hooked up, and they're getting pretty much everything they wanted for Christmas. So we'll see if it's a success. Now, for me, granted, because I hate being told what gifts to get, but at the same time, I don't see my nephews and nieces enough through the year, so it's hard for me to keep track. So I appreciate being told. When I was married, when I had a significant relationship, I was the one who would pay attention throughout the year to the things that my ex really liked. And so I thought I was pretty good at gift giving, and I got a lot of feedback where I was always told, like, this is perfect, oh my god, I never knew I wanted this, or how did you remember? It's like, because you said, I like this, and I went, ching, lock that one away, future gift. You know, things like that. That's just me. And I was laughed because I was always told, you're so hard to buy for. I was like, is it geeky or a game or anything techie? Done. I will like all of that. But anyhow, that's just me. But no, we did that also and worked really well. All right. Continuation of things I've been doing because we are absolutely going to run out of time and not talk about a single thing
That's okay.
in the Geekoscope this week. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to delete the whole Geekoscope intro from the note thing here and just go with it.
Fine.
All right.
Yeah.
So what else have I been doing? Gaming wise, still been playing Titanfall. Honestly, if the games are out there, much like how Paz was saying that Call of Duty kind of burned you, I still play it when my friends who play it are on. But I really enjoy Titanfall. So I've been playing that one still, and they recently had sales on it where you could get it for $10. Now it's about $14, so it's about 25% off. And I found a deal where when I started up Origin, as much as I dislike Origin as a service, I like that they're trying to get better. They showed a deal where I was able to get all the DLCs, so 9 maps, in addition for like $12. And so I actually picked up the DLCs for it because I've been enjoying the game enough, and now I need to sit down and find time when all my friends who play it are playing it again. Other things, I've been having a bit of nostalgia. Due to sales and things I picked up, I've been looking through lists, and one of the things I started playing just the other day, because I was curious, is I've started playing the original Command & Conquer. The original Command & Conquer that came out however many moons ago in the early 90s as an RTS. And I will tell you what, I am enjoying the piss out of this thing. I know I liked Command & Conquer, but I am really enjoying it playing it again. And a big reason is, I think the original series has something in RTSs that you just don't see these days. It has a solid single-player mode that is thought out as being unique map to map. Where there's so many games today, like Planetary Annihilation, where they pseudo kind of give you like an ish for how you're going to play a multiplayer game. It's really just a multiplayer game skinned as a single player. This one had set up straight game modes where it was like you start with this many units and you have this specific objective. That made it very single player in an RTS, and it's so good. The graphics are shite. It only runs at 800 by 600 resolution, I think. But it works because they put it through Origin. It works on my screen, and so it runs flawlessly. But I mean, it's old sprites that are just terrible looking stuff. But the game is so much fun, and it really harkens back to what I think of an RTS and what I like in an RTS. It is the original Command & Conquer series and the single-player mode in it, and I'm really enjoying it. And because I basically had bought the entire anthology, like everything Command & Conquer had ever done for $15-20 or something when it had gone on sale, and so I'm gonna try to play through the single-player of every one of them through because it's all the expansions, DLCs, everything. But it is reminding me what it was I liked about it. So I'll play the Command & Conquer series, I'll play the Red Alert series, all of that going through and just see what I think. But I have found myself playing it. The hardest thing about it, because it's not modern and it's using whatever kind of UI to make it work as though it was DOS, is that I can alt-tab it, but it always like stops. It does not work in like a windowed mode because at the time this thing came out, there was no windows. It was just, everything was full screen, right? And multiple monitors, what? So I'm enjoying the heck out of it. I think it's fun, and it's just a great throwback for me to see this nostalgia, but living it where I'm like, this is good. This is not rosy lens nostalgia. This is like, this was a legitimately great game. So I'm playing the original Command & Conquer and enjoying the hell of it. On the other side, World of Warcraft. Well, did you ever play Command & Conquer? Like the first?
No.
Then don't say shit! You don't know. Shush.
That's the point, right? I can't go back and play that now because I'm now too accustomed to the modern times
because you can. All you can do is you can install the Origin client, and through EA you can basically go and buy the original Command & Conquer series.
I'm already out,
and therefore you can play it. You absolutely can play it. You just choose not to. But no, I've been enjoying the heck out of it, and I can't wait to play some more. But it's hard because I have to dedicate time to it. Because with other games where I can like go in and out of the window mode, so I can just go over and like edit photos, watch videos, stuff like that. This one, because it does the resolution thing and stuff, it's kind of its own world where I kind of have to focus on it. It's like, damn it, can't multitask, but it is a lot of fun. On the flip side, I have not been playing WoW much. Because WoW, when I did this whole month thing, and I've enjoyed it, it's fun, it's fine and all, I realized the only reason I was playing it was to play with Copy. Because the two of us were playing equal level tunes, and my Worgen, her Druid, and it's a lot of fun, but she's been really busy. I've had a lot of things going on with myself, so we just haven't synced up to play games. And so I haven't even touched it since. I played little things on my higher level Druid, just kind of see the world and do some stuff, but I find myself completely walking away from it again. I have to make the decision before the 19th as to whether I cancel or suspend my account again, or give it another month's play. And I'll tell you, right now, that's probably going to be a suspension because I have a lot of other games to play and I just don't feel the draw. So while I think WoW is a solid game and I'll maybe write something up as an official review of it again, it's not going to draw me back in to be a subscribing member of the WoW community. Now, if they were to turn around and give me some emphasis or credit for the time I played in the game and make the subscription maybe $5 a month, that'd be different. But at $12 to $15 a month, not a chance.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Let's see, League of Legends,
not
like I
worth
said, I've been playing a lot of ARAMs. In fact, I'd love to play some ARAMs after the show. So if we want to get into the whole let's play games together in the gaming night, let's play some ARAMs. Go update your clients, everybody, right now. It'd be a good time for it. Also, as you were talking about phones, I get my iPhone 6 Plus tomorrow. It is in Denver. It's at the post office, and so it should be delivered to my house somewhat tomorrow. I have to decide if I'm going to. I have extra hours for the end of the year as I'm trying to burn PTO and stuff. I have to decide. I have a group of friends who are going to go see The Hobbit. And I guess, does it launch tomorrow? I don't know when it comes out. I haven't paid attention, but a lot of people are like, oh my god, Hobbit, Hobbit, Hobbit. But there's
It's already here.
It may all, and that's the thing, it may have come out this week and I just haven't paid attention because I haven't seen the traffic on Facebook of everyone going, oh my god. But there's a theater, a couple theaters around town that are going to be playing all of the Hobbits in a row. And
Nice.
so you can go do like the whole 9 hours, whatever it is, of like viewing. And so I have a group of friends who are starting tomorrow at like 12:30 in the afternoon, watching the first Hobbit, second Hobbit, and I think going into the third movie. And I have to decide if I want to attend with them, because if so, I can take off a little bit of work. I have the hours, doesn't interfere with my trip, and I can go watch those movies. So I have to decide that real quick today. Let my boss know. What other things? So I'm looking for the phone. I think you and I will have some opportunities of doing the whole comparison thing. Hey, look at the size of my phone. Well, look at my phone when we get to that. But we'll see.
Well,
how
we
it
already
goes.
know it's going to be bigger anyway.
Well, you say that, and yeah, you'll have higher density of resolution, but you know,
Yep.
I have a much deeper architecture behind mine. We'll see. But as we play that game, I have to probably go out and pick up a case the first thing. I've already been researching online because, unfortunately, LifeProof, the company, has not released a case for the 6 Plus yet, and that's what a case is I love because I know they're solid. I would like to use them, but they don't have any new ones, so I have to probably rely on maybe getting an OtterBox or something because I will not run that phone caseless. I mean, it looks like, I don't know if you have a case on yours. It looks like it's
Not
naked.
yet. It's one of my Christmas presents,
Yeah.
hopefully.
I can't do it, right? I'm so fearful that I'll break the damn thing because it's an expensive piece of electronics that you carry around, can be destroyed at any time. I want some level of armor around it. I have not let my 4S out of its case for more than like 5 minutes at a time the entire time I've owned it for the last like 3 or 4 years. And so, heaven forbid I do that with the 6 Plus. Nope, can't do it. So I have to go find a case either this afternoon or tomorrow at some point before I start the phone. Other things. All right, here's where. Well, okay, I'll do one real quick. So, I'm feeling in a geeky mode and a somewhat nostalgic kind of thing because I've got my Super Mario Brother Classic shirt on and everything for people. The other thing, so I have a couple things I got to. Well, so one. Since Ken's run away from the mic to say I have to do something, maybe wrestle a chinchilla or something like that. We'll see. Oh, Stoner, yes. He's going in there to say, Wayne has an iPhone, yet he hates Apple. So I've talked about this in the past, Stoner. I am an Apple fanboy of their consumer products like the iPad or the iPhone and the old iDevices. I hate their operating system when it comes to desktops, laptops, things like that. Not a fan. It's funny, too. There's a thing that Paz posted in the VTW Facebook page. It was either my gaming one, the Game Fest one, or the VTW one. I forget which one, or ShowX, whatever. But he posted one where it was like this whole, like, I think it was Joker going like, oh my god, kind of face. But the meme was, pay $2,000 for a new MacBook Pro and nobody bats an eye. Pay $2,000 for a gaming PC or laptop and everyone's like, oh my god, I can't believe you spent that much. And I was like, thank you, Paz. I completely agree. Anyhow. But yeah, Apple makes good, solid, consumable, easy in your pocket devices. I don't like their full architecture. So that's my story. I'm keeping to it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So I was gonna say, as you're running away, Ken, the thing I did is
We'll see what happens when it bends in your pocket and you're raging.
Oh, the
about
bendy
Apple.
thing is such a BS, whatever. That's also why I'm getting a case, though, so screw that. Is I picked up one of my best gifts for the holiday season I could ever have come up with. So I'm going to stand up so you can see it. What it is, in the video wall, for those who are seeing, is I have new pants, essentially, lounging/sleeper pants that are like fleecy, super soft, what normally only women get. But these are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pants.
Those
And they are the
fantastic.
fluffiest, softest things I have ever had on my skin. It is amazing, and I am so amazingly happy with them that they just make me like, oh, it's so comfy and cute, and especially because it's like snowing outside. So it just makes me feel even better about, this is so warm and comfy. So I'm in this nostalgia mood with the turtle pants and my original SNES, Super Mario Brothers shirt. I'm just like, yeah, it feels good. All right, so
Well,
to
that's good.
all of you for Geek and basically your input and thoughts. First thing, after, and this is just like what happened this year at the beginning of the year, right after I went to your wedding, I flew back and was in town for all of like 4 hours before I flew out to Las Vegas to go to the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Every year I get the option, as long as I keep active, to get free tickets to the Consumer Electronics Show so I don't have to pay the $50 or $100 or whatever it is to get a ticket in. So this year I have tickets again. I can go. Thank you to Alpha Geek Media for allowing me to go through the whole connection we have there. I have the access to go, and I think there's going to be this huge emphasis on like 4K, 8K technology. 4K, I would be surprised if I don't see at least a phone or two that potentially does 4K. I've heard already that there's going to be a ton of computer monitors that are 4K, and the prices are going to drop absolutely significantly. And in televisions, I'm assuming we're going to see a lot of 8K as well as other things. So my question out there to everyone is, do you want me to go to CES? It's a cost I have to incur myself, and if I do this, I miss like a week of work as a whole versus coming back from Scotland and being able to work 3 or 4 days and get my paycheck back there. So I have to take like 40 hours of PTO at the beginning of the year to do this, so it's out-of-pocket funds on my part, but I'm more than happy to go because I believe there's going to be some new technology being shown that's going to be exciting. Intel's already announced that they're going to be doing new PC stuff and chips that are probably going to be more mobile-based, but that they're saying the PC's a real thing and they want to keep up with it. As well as like AMD is going to release and talk about, probably show their products that are their equivalent of G-Sync, which is the technology that allows them to do the better syncing with monitors so that you get no tearing at these fast speeds and stuff like that. It makes monitors even more aggressive. There's hardware that no longer has these issues, stuff like Pause and El Campo have done to make their gaming experience amazing. So there's going to be a lot of gaming tech at this next CES. I was him and Han because I think you go to CES every year and it can get a little stagnant, but I'm very tempted to go. I already have the ticket to go. I just have to get lodging, and I have friends there, so I can reduce some of the costs as well as just going. I was tempted to go for like 2 days this year. Come back from Scotland, spend a day or two in Denver before I fly out to Las Vegas and spend like the last 2 days of CES. Try to take it in real quick and go. But as much as I will probably go if I set this up, I really want your input, everybody. Do you think it's worthwhile for me to go and cover things at CES each year? Do you like that information that we provide? Or do you just go to other sources and see what they say? Do you like our perspective? And 2, if you do want me to go, is there something you want me to focus on? I ask this every year. Are there any products or things like that that you want us to cover? Because I will go seek them out. And I will find them. I will set up dates to either talk to the manufacturers or sit down, whatever. If you want me to cover that, I'll go get interviews. I'll do all that. But I'd like to do it for you. So that, because, it's 150,000 people. There's 1,000 plus vendors there. So it's better to have direction and to help satisfy what you guys are interested about new tech. Because I'll always go see the new TVs, the new monitors. I'll always go see the new camera stuff, things like that. But if there's a little niche things that you guys are interested in, let me know. So please, 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 as much as we have you guys email us in Geek Cred every week, email us in at showx@vtwproduction.com some of the thoughts about what you'd like to see from CES. And that'll help inform me as to what I do with this trip. That's a big thing.
Definitely.
The other thing that I'm going to throw out there, and this is the one that kind of just came to me and I'm kind of like curious, but we'll see, is I've been talking for some time about things I like to do being very geeky, and one of those is I have this pristine, as much as it is, body in the sense that I've never marked up my skin. I have
Pristine,
been tempted.
beautiful, crystalline body.
I have no piercings. I have no tattoos. I have nothing like that. But I have for a long time considered the aspect of getting a tattoo. And so I had at least one in mind for the longest time, which is getting a little band that is my gaming history around my leg. Absolutely still want to do that. I need to find someone that has the ability to give really precise technical type tattoos, something that really looks amazing. And so with that, I want to, I will do that eventually on my own tip. The other one, though, that I've been thinking about doing, and this is kind of it's a risk, but I am looking at the possibility of getting a tattoo all the way up the length of my arm,
Okay.
which would cost a significant amount of money. But if I do, because of the work I do and things like that, where I can't have anything obvious, what I was really thinking about doing is getting a black light ink tattoo.
That would be pretty cool.
And if I do so, I kind of want to get one that looks like, I don't know, a mechanical arm.
That'd be pretty freaking cool.
So that-
imagine you doing dancing, right? You're dancing, the lights go down, then suddenly,
And that is pretty much my thought behind it. Is if I did something that looked like very technical behind it, and honestly, I was kind of go Terminator or this, that, but I think what the effect I'd like to do is almost like Mecha from the original BattleTech series, where they did like cutaways and they showed Myomer bundles and all the technique stuff, like the technical stuff within the arm and things like that of the mech, or something like Ghost in the Shell or something like that with the technology underneath, is to get that kind of like tattooed on the inside and outside of a single arm, all the way up to the shoulder, so that it's like, it looks like under a black light I have a fully inside of me that's like technical, that's all robotic or something like that. The challenge being is a tattoo like that would be hella expensive and painful, like all the way down to fingertips, because it's
definitely.
stupid expensive, right? Thousands of dollars potentially. So the thing I was thinking about on the cusp of the show was whether I would do maybe a crowdsource funding thing for that.
Getting crowdsourcing for your tattoo.
Hey.
I don't know how that.
Well, no, I know, right? But there is the thing where you can say fundme.com, stuff like that, where you can fund me to do something. Because otherwise it's going to take me forever until I finally just have to say, like, I can drop $2,000, go for it. I mean, I haven't even got to the point of, like, soliciting an actual tattoo artist that I would trust to do it. Because I need someone who
Yeah,
can
that's
know
the part.
crap, do an amazing job. I want if I do this level of work that's permanent on my body, it's going to be effing amazing. And so I want
Yeah,
to.
that's the point, right? I've always said that as well. If you ever want a tattoo, you should. That's going to be big and prominent like that. You need it to be like the best quality, because you do not want to go to like the local guy in the neighborhood and say, "Oh, you've done tattoos on pig skin, right?" Yeah, so you can just like do it, right? Here's $200. Here you go. Do my whole back. And then they've got you always type bad tattoos in Google, right? And you see those, so I can see your
Oh,
point
you see,
exactly. I
like every
exactly
guy
your
with a panther tattoo ever. Just saying. Just don't do it. Just saying. But yeah, no. So that's the thing. So I'm still not sold on it, right? I'm still on the hook of kind of like, I would like to do this, but it's not a definite this is happening. And so I'm just kind of throwing it out there too. And I would love to hear some response and people support, because you guys are great for supporting the show as a whole. But I'm thinking about going beyond just the VTW thing, kind of doing this group wide, my whole Facebook crowd, family, whatever, and do a kind of a funding thing that says, go talk to someone, get an announcement of like what it would cost to do, and if they did, I would absolutely do it. And what I would do is, when it was done, I would showcase it and like dance and such, and basically put the black light on and show what it looks like when I have that all done. I don't know. We'll see. It's just this mindset, because I need it to still be work appropriate, and that's why I'm looking at black light, so that it's not obvious other than maybe some slight scarring on the arm when it's not under the black light. But then I go to a club, like you said, and it comes out. Partly this was because I went to Trax, and when I was at Trax and I talked about the dancing and stuff at there, and I had a bunch of, basically highlighter works really good as temporary tattoos, by the way, for black lights. But I had highlighter done all over my skin. I forgot about it, and I'd washed my, pretty much all of it off that I could tell, but I had missed some, or just I hadn't rinsed it enough, like scrubbed it off enough. So I had gone to another club like the next night or whatever, or a couple days later, or whatever it was, and all of a sudden, like this big, like highlighter heart or something on my arm showed up, and people were like, "What is that?" And at the same time, I
So
was
imagine
like,
that with your whole arm, yeah.
and that's kind of the thought. Yeah, I
That's
just
very cool.
so I don't know. That's just kind of like the way my random thoughts work. So
You can even do like your veins or muscles and stuff.
I
like,
just
they
again
look like
thoughts, right?
biological
Yeah,
electrical.
I've seen a few examples out there, but it's the idea of what can I do that would be somewhat transient, where it's not that way every day, but I show a black light and bam, there it is. So all right, with that. Because that's pretty much all I have this week, and I believe it is time for us to end things. We have been on the air now for a solid 2 hours. Now, I do not see the Alpha Geeks in our forums yet. I do see Barry VA, the amazing Barry Von Awesome, their IRC rep, but I don't see the casuals. So, I don't know if they're on yet or not this week. Barry, please let us know if you know. And so I'll just ask that real quick. But Ken, could you give everybody all the social media and stuff where they should watch us and check things out? And with that, let's see. I don't see Tom still in there. I'm not sure if we have a Tales of Relevant Thought again tonight or not. If so, check it out.
Okay.
Because those guys are back and great. So please, sign us out with all the things that people can follow us on.
Okie dokie. First of all, be sure to thank to our fellow listeners who actually donate to the show. Those guys are freaking awesome. That is Mr. Hando and Mr. The Mighty Stoner. You guys put in a bit of money each month, and we really do appreciate it. Remember, Mr. Stoner, you actually pay enough to get a little shout out each month, so be sure to send us an email with what you want us to say, and then we'll say it live on air.
Yes,
Anything
we will.
you want.
We will be your
To an extent.
monkeys for a day. Yeah, minus
Anything you
the
want.
cursing
To an
and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see. Check us out on twitter.com/VTWShow, twitter.com/GoX, twitter.com/DocDead for myself, for Wayne, and this show as well. Check out our emails. Send emails. They're good fun to do because we read out your stuff on air, and it's always a little bit of a squeak to hear that. Send it to showx@VTWRussians.com. It'll be good fun. We enjoy that. Support us as well as with Mr. Hando and Mr. Stoner at Patreon. That's patreon.com/showx. That's all it is. Then you can donate anything from $1 a month to 1 million, whatever you want. But no more than 1 million. That would just be extravagant. No more than that. Up to 1 million, nothing more. And we appreciate every little penny that comes in and every little cent because it helps us out to keep running with the maintenance of this show and Mr. Wayne going to the strange foreign lands to recover technologies for us and such. So it's always good fun. And possibly fluorescent tattoos. Check us out on Facebook. Go to facebook.com, type in ShowX or Versus the World Productions and like both those pages. And I believe that is everything. Check us out for the gaming night tonight and listen to all the other shows on VTWRussians.com. And thank you for having me on the show, sir.
Thank you, Ken, as always, for joining us, minus the last 2 weeks. Much appreciated when you're on with us. It makes things so much more fun. And just think, guys, as much as like when we did the Florida trip and we were together for that one show, we're going to do the same coming up here in Scotland. And I guess it's not a surprise. I mean, part of me has that need to like want to surprise people and just like show up and all of a sudden we're right next to each other like, hey, look what happened here. We're kind of telling y'all, yes. And essentially what will be the show after Christmas should be the show that we do where we should both be in same state, although I think you'll probably be running things since we'll be on your neck of the woods.
That's true.
And I'll only have my laptop, but we'll see how it all goes. Should be great fun. So we look forward to that. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us this week. As with every week, please remember, tell your friends. We want to expand the VTW community, both the gaming side. Please jump into VTW Gaming. Feel free. Jump in the forums and coordinate and set up things that you're doing in new games. If you have guilds and stuff like that and you want everyone to play, do it in the VTW Gaming, side of the forums. We want everyone to be a big community together, as well as make sure you share our show and all the shows to all of your friends. Don't hide us. We're not trying to be this little corner of the internet. We want to expand, so please let everybody know and make it so easy. Any social media you use, heck, even friends that you just run around constantly, be like, you know what I do every Sunday? I spend my time listening to Show X, and you should too.
Or even, you could just retweet us occasionally. Just send out those tweets, like us on Facebook, share stuff and the likes. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. All right, again, sir, thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you very much for this. And everybody jump into the Ventrilo after the show, and we'll play at least some ARAMs or something else. So with that, thank you very much, and we'll catch you again next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye. See you in the next zombie.